See, the usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
And Tracy in Taylorsville feels good, too.
Taylorsville.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a sad note.
Well,
as
because
to, on this,
well, not on this day.
last, was it Friday or Saturday?
Friday. That was the last song that
Apollo
Creed heard before he died. So
Carl Weathers, he died, and he had a great career, though. Mm-hmm. I read the New York Times obituary that goes all out, of course, and he was Apollo Creed in many movies, and he was worried that once that was done, he wouldn't get any more roles because he was sort of cast as this bad guy, But no, he worked and worked and worked. He's in the Star Wars, wasn't he?
he is a Star Wars. He
Yeah.
directed a Star Wars.
Oh, I didn't know he directed
Some episodes of Mandalorian. He directed a few of those. And he was. I guess you could continue that story without him because he was just like the mayor of a town. Grief Karga is his character's name.
Grief Karga.
I hate Star Wars names.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous. But
Apollo Creed, that's a good name.
that's a good name.
He was Combat Carl in Toy Story 4.
Yes, he was.
Combat Carl. And
I went back and watched in Rocky 3 the training sequence of when they're running on the beach.
Yeah.
And Sylvester's face, like, just swooshing back and forth because he doesn't have control over it. That's a great montage.
Carl Weathers. So I think his next big job, though, after he was worried that he went and worked with Arnold in Predator.
Did Predator?
Yeah.
With the meme that will live forever. Dylan, you son of a pitch. No, he was great. He was great in Predator. He was a lot of fun.
He was 76 years old.
And let's not forget Action Jackson.
Yeah.
How can you forget Action Jackson?
Of course. And Mr. Chubbs in
Yes.
Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
Who was missing a hand because an alligator bit it off.
But his greatest performance, in my opinion, Arrested Development, where he played himself.
Oh.
Carl Weathers.
Where and they called him up. They had some Rocky jokes that they wanted to make. They called him up and says, "Carl, would you like to be on Arrested Development?" He says, "No, because you're just going to make Rocky jokes. If you could do something else with me, let's talk about it. Why don't you make me cheap?"
Cheap, like a miser.
Yeah, a miser.
A penny pincher.
And they laughed and went, "Okay, we'll call you back." They called him back, and that's where you get the great line, "Don't throw that bone out."
Oh, yeah.
Don't throw
you
that.
can make soup with
There's still a little meat on that. You put it in there with some hot water, a potato. You got yourself a stew going. Yes.
He was right. That's funnier than a Rocky joke.
Yeah. Well, there's Rocky jokes too, but
yeah.
But the
Carl Weathers.
Apparently he's supposed to be in a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a story here about that somewhere. They're altering it. He's still going to be in it apparently, but they're
Which makes me wonder, does he die in the ad? And they're like, "Oh, we can't have that." Like, why do you need to alter it?
Let's see if
unless something really bad happens to him.
That just reminds me of, okay, there was a TV series before The Naked Gun. It was Police Squad. It was a TV series, and it did very poorly. And one of the gags is tonight's special guest, and they have a celebrity.
Yeah.
And they'd kill the celebrity at the beginning.
Yeah.
So he was not in the episode.
Yeah.
Tonight's special guest, William Shatner, and it's Shatner getting shot.
Yeah.
and that's it.
And that was it. He never came back. They did one where Belushi was one of the special guests, and he died while the show was running, so they had to pull that one.
It doesn't say what it's an ad. It's an ad for the gambling site FanDuel.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, why would they feel like they had to do it unless it was something like that?
I don't know.
Unless it was a joke about Apollo Creed dying or something. I want to know. I need more information.
I don't know.
Yeah, here it just says they're adjusting the ad following his passing. I'll find out for you.
Because if you were his family, wouldn't you be like, "Oh, and isn't that nice? There's Dad on an ad at the Super Bowl." I would think they would be.
You've been wondering about that all weekend, Gina, or when you first heard that story. But here's what'll happen. I'll do the research and find out for you. You could have found out yourself But no, you would just
I'm
rather
just
wonder
wondering
about
out
it.
loud.
You just rather wonder about
Someone will tell me.
Andrew in the chat room says he's training Gronk to kick a field goal again. So it's like
Okay.
Apollo Creed or somebody training
Okay.
Gronkowski to kick a field goal. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's doing that at halftime apparently, or sometime. You can bet on Gronk whether he can make a field goal.
Oh,
or
so
not.
that's the FanDuel
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
You can bet on
it. Yeah,
that.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right, maybe
So we'll find out what I'll find out exactly why there.
maybe Carl was supposed to be there too. I wonder.
I don't know.
Interesting.
All right, we'll find out.
Yeah. All will be revealed.
And Gina's back, right?
Yeah,
You're back.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. Wasn't sure.
Did you miss me? Come on, that's the kind of thing where you lie, even if. Of course we missed you. No, you don't care.
Yeah.
I could have just stayed in St. George.
I missed you.
Well, I was afraid. I was afraid you would get trapped in St. George by the horrible weather.
It was horrible.
That you would not be able to drive
It
there
was-
or back.
It was horrible.
But you made it back somehow.
I did, because I'm a trooper.
You sure are.
the word?
The yawning trooper.
Yawning trooper.
She's the yawning trooper. I'm a trooper.
I got your back. I'll be right there.
Give me a minute.
Give me a minute. Oh.
What a trooper. What a trooper.
All right. Well, that was certainly
You betcha.
farting around there.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
All right.
All right, we'll take a break now, and then we'll come back with your check-ins if you've a mind to do them. Call us, 877-602-9696, and check in with us. Maybe you want to welcome Gina back. Maybe you want to tell us what you know about Carl Weathers and the FanDuel ad. Anything. Check in with us, 877-602-9696. You can also text us, of course, at 33986.
All right. We'll be back after these. BigOTires.com.
See, Big O Tires. Of course, I go to the one on 2nd East and South Temple, and my son, my little Bill, is driving a car that has Big O Tires on it, and he got a nail in the tire, and he was just worried. He said, "Oh, I don't got to get it fixed. I don't know what to do." I said, "Just take it down there." Okay.
Not a big deal at all.
He took it down there. He came back and he said, "I can't believe how nice those people are." They just looked at the car and said, "Okay, we'll fix it right away," and for nothing. So there you go.
And if they couldn't fix it and you needed new tires, they've got a sale going on. Come in and save up to $160 in rebate savings on select sets of Michelin tires, and that's going on through February 19th.
And they do more than tires. They do alignments, oil changes, air and cabin filters, brakes, battery shocks, struts, and more. You can make an appointment online, which I don't know if Little Bill did that or not, but you can just go to bigotires.com, find the store near you. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Less than a week away from Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to get my comic books together for the trick-or-treaters.
I haven't bought candy yet.
Less than a week, and so we've gone the entire month of October.
I'm going to give insulin this year.
It's expensive. That's
Yeah,
an
I was going to say, I'll
expensive
put you in the poorhouse.
That's true.
entire month of October, and we have yet to have a visit from my very favorite friend of the Radio from Hell show.
Who was that?
Who was that?
Well, Jimmy was just here an hour ago.
I like Jimmy, but he's not my
And
favorite.
He's my favorite.
Hildy's retired.
And I like Hildy, but not my favorite
No?
friend of. Come on, you guys!
Where are we going?
Well, Punk was here on Wednesday and
I
dropped
love
off some
Punk.
toys, but
I
you know,
love Punk, but that's not who I'm talking about.
Mm.
I'm talking about
I don't know who you could be.
Mm.
Chainsaw Guy.
Who's that? What's that again?
Chainsaw Guy.
But-
Actually, you're usually not here when he's here, so
Well-
maybe you don't know how much I adore.
I do know because, as you know, Chainsaw Guy and I have a very special relationship. I'm the one who introduced him to you, if you'll recall.
It's true.
And I have not
he's
heard
He's your life coach, right?
He is. He was.
Not anymore.
He was. Well, when I found out that he was self-certified,
You wanted,
That's when.
That's what I went, oh, well.
you didn't like his advice, and
That's
then you
what did
looked
it.
into it, and
Yeah.
but
I said, where
Because
did
he
you,
thought, if I'm getting this out of a psychology book, screw him.
where did you learn this stuff? I said, did you go to school? He said, no, I'm self-certified. So, but I have not heard anything from him.
well,
And I usually do by this time of year. I mean, he contacts me and said, the first thing he always says is, "Hey, how about Cuba?"
is that your Chainsaw Guy impression? It's
Yeah.
terrible, by
I
the
know,
way.
I know.
You don't sound anything.
Okay, I won't try to do it again, but he always asks about you right off the bat.
But well, then I'm putting out a call to Chainsaw Guy. If you're listening, we have less than a week to have you come visit us, or it just won't feel like it'll be like Santa not coming for Christmas.
I heard
it
he
will
was
be
doing
like
a-
the Easter Bunny not coming.
I heard he was doing a podcast, and he's kind of
Chainsaw Guy podcast?
Yeah, I heard he was doing a podcast, and he's kind of busy with that.
Well, if he, I hope I know he's a good friend of the program. I know he listens. So, a Chainsaw Guy, just going to be really sad if you don't.
Well, if he can't make it to the show, I'll have him call you. And
We could at least offer some advice over the phone.
No,
Yeah.
I want him in here. I need to see him. I need
I
to.
don't need the smell
need-
of the exhaust, and and
it's always terrible.
his overalls are always
and
kind of dirty.
and he usually doesn't button them up the
never.
right way.
Yes.
There's always something hanging out.
Well, we have 4 more days of Radio from Hell show to where you will have the chance to
Well, I'll
make
if I
good on.
if I find him, what I'll do, and I'll tell him Kerry says that he can come, but only if he agrees to shower.
Well, wash the overalls.
Okay, I'll tell him.
That's
that.
all.
He's supposed to be scary. Dirt is scary. You know how petrified I am of filth?
So you like the fact that he smells so bad?
It's just part of the.
All right.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
For those who don't know who we're talking about, Chainsaw Guy is the guy in the hockey mask at the end of your haunted house who chases you out with a chainsaw. He's also a self-certified life coach and a poet.
He has sage advice.
He offers love advice.
Love advice and relationship advice, and even advice for your future, and job hunting, things like that.
He was having a hard time of it a couple of years ago. He was leaf blower guy for a while.
They took his chainsaw away.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's part of the problem this year. I don't know.
No, he's got his chainsaw back. I
Yeah.
saw him.
Oh, you did?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Was it at the end of a haunted house?
Yeah.
Well, it probably was.
He kept saying, "Hey,
Oh.
hey, hey,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I thought he was trying to get my attention. So
You know, Katie's getting married. She needs Chainsaw Guy's advice.
that's true. That's true. She could use some.
Maybe she needs Chainsaw Guy to officiate the ceremony.
He can. He is registered with the what is it? The Universal Life.
Oh.
Chainsaw Church.
Yeah.
Reverend Chainsaw Guy?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Well, it's Reverend Guy. His first name is Chainsaw.
oh, that's right.
His first name
Reverend
is
Guy.
Chain.
Yeah.
His middle name is Saw.
I mean, I imagine you're on enough of a close enough relationship that you could call him by his first name.
Okay, but Reverend Guy.
Hey, Chainsaw.
Yeah, people are suggesting that Chainsaw Guy appear on an episode of Remain Seated with Gina Barberi.
My podcast.
Because you like him so much, you should get a hold of him and invite him.
and do
And
life
then you can have
advice.
all your Chainsaw Guy fun there, and we don't have to deal with it.
You could do that.
I could.
I'm sure he could provide at least 20 minutes of entertaining banter.
I haven't been able to get you on my podcast, Bill, so
Well-
maybe I can get Chainsaw Guy.
Well, that's because you've asked me one time and you said, "Can you come over right now?" And I said, no.
no.
Let's get this over with.
All right, hang on, you guys. We got a full bank of phones. Navajo, Nate, Aaron, Sarah. Hang on. We're going to start the show officially. But first, Gina.
Yeah.
This is what I found out about Carl Weathers and the FanDuel ad.
Okay.
And this is addressed exactly to you.
Okay.
So he's in this ad called New Year, New Kick. He's coaching Gronk to kick a field goal to see if
Okay.
he can do it. While FanDuel, this is the part for you, has not announced exact details, not that it really matters in the grand scope of this news of Carl Weathers' death, the company provided a statement which mentions adjusting the campaign. So,
That is unsatisfactory.
Gina, it doesn't really matter in the grand scope of the sad news that Carl Weathers has died.
I want to
Okay?
know if he died in
No,
the ad and they
it-
thought it was inappropriate.
it-
Other than that, why would you change it?
It doesn't really matter in the grand scope of this news of Carl's
right.
passing. Okay? Should we officially begin the show?
Sure.
Sponsored by Utah First Credit Union's personal checking, where every feature comes standard. Learn more at utahfirst.com.
The moon is 24.6% of full. It is a waning moon. Moon set today at 12:55 p.m., today being Monday. It's the 5th day of February in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2024. It's International Clash Day, celebrated on February 5th unless the date falls on a Saturday or a Sunday. It is never celebrated on a weekend. Clash Day started as an organic movement on February 7th, 2013, when John Richards, radio host of Washington-based radio station KEXP, played the Clash's songs all day.
Oh, okay.
So it's Clash
Well, we
Day.
should play some today.
It's World Nutella Day and National Pork Rind Day. And when you combine those two things, it's National Fart Day as well.
Ooh.
For centuries, before etiquette was established, farting was considered normal. In 1781, Benjamin Franklin wrote, "Fart proudly," an essay he only even ever shared with his friends, including chemist Joseph Priestley, challenging Priestley to invent a potion for good-smelling farts. And it's Disaster Day, a day to raise awareness about the different types of disasters that can and have occurred. So, eye to eye, station to station, this is the morning show that's so nice with your bad self. Oh! It's Radio from Hell, starring the lords of morning radio, Kerry Jackson. I'm Bill Allred, Handsome Bill Allred Plus.
Plus,
Handsome Bill Allred isn't quite catching on. I'm adding plus to it.
Oh, okay.
adding to it
yeah.
is going to make it.
Are
Maybe.
you going to be charging us more?
I'm Handsome Bill Allred Plus.
Okay.
And there's Gina Barberi right over there. Katie for short is our producer, and we have Dawson and Macy helping out as well. And now we go to you, our fine checker-inners.
All right. Let's see. Andrew says adjusting it could just mean adding a rest in peace message at the end of the ad.
Could be, yeah.
So that could be all there is. Sarah is here.
Hi, Sarah. Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. I'm calling from Orem.
You're Norm?
Yes.
Okay. What's up?
Oh, just welcome back, Gina.
Thank you.
Glad you made it safely through the treacherous roads of St. George.
It's a dangerous place, St. George.
The treacherous roads of St. George. Anything else, Sarah?
Just wanted to say good morning.
Okay.
Hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
That's
She's
very
just
nice.
checking in with us.
Very
Thanks,
nice.
Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. You have a good day, too.
Thank you. Aaron.
Aaron. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Good morning. Oh, fantastic. Mr. Handsome Bill, the lover of pork rinds.
Yeah, I do like pork rinds quite a bit. And I fart
do
fairly
have
often
some-
as well.
You fart? Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so my girlfriend took me up to Lava, Idaho yesterday.
Yeah.
Those hot springs.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Such a beautiful day to be driving, up there. Nice little drive.
Yeah, it's a
Handsome Bill enjoys going to lava.
I enjoy going to lava, although, I don't know, I was thinking this last time I was there, I'm sort of lavaed out.
Are you?
Yeah.
I felt like I was looking for Will Brimley, I felt like I was in there with the Cocoon people.
Yeah.
I like to take in the waters.
That's right.
It was, yeah.
All right.
But, no, other than that, that was it. I just wanted to
Okay.
say I had a great weekend. Lava is great to go to. So
All right.
anyway.
Thanks, Aaron. See you later.
Bye, Aaron.
All right, guys.
You've taken everything lava has to offer, and you're
yeah.
done.
Yeah. It's
Navajo Nate.
Yatahay.
Got to have Bill, Radio from Hell.
Yes. Well, let's see.
How are things?
It says here Willard Bay. Is that where you are right now?
Well, now I'm in Harrisville.
Oh, Harris.
I'm driving to my new job at the Space Factory in Clearfield.
Oh, what do you be doing there?
I will be manufacturing on the solid booster rockets.
Wow.
Way to go. That's really cool. So that's a good paying job?
Yeah, it's a good paying job.
Good.
Not as good as my last one, but I'll get there.
Okay. Anything
Nice
new in
to
your
hear
life?
from you.
Not a whole lot new, except I'm going to Japan in the summer, so that'll be great.
That will be nice.
Any particular reason?
This is just the first time I've been up at 6 a.m. in a long time, so
Oh, no, I
thought
think
I'd
Bill
check in
meant
and let you know I'm still alive.
any reason you're going to Japan, any
Yeah,
particular
any
reason?
particular reason for that?
This is my one of my best friends. This is his last deployment, his last foreign deployment before he retires from the Air Force.
What's his name again?
So my buddy, his name's Skyler. I'm going to go visit him out there.
Which towns you going to hit?
Oh, I don't know. It's just in northern Japan somewhere.
You'll find out.
All right.
Skyler will take you there.
All right, Nate.
Yeah, he'll take me there.
Call us when you come back and tell us about it.
Will do. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nate.
See you later.
Let's see. Saw Poor Things on Saturday. Good movie. Definitely not what I expected.
I really want to see that.
Colonel Coffee Bean checking in. I don't know if I can listen today. I don't feel like absolute hell this morning. Still drinking coffee regardless. April in American Fork. Miss Eugenia. Johnny B checking in. Listening as I get my dump truck started.
Oh.
Sheetrock delivery in the morning. And the dump truck is in the way. Hopefully the rain didn't make it too muddy to get the truck where it needs to go. I have a question for Frank Christ. Is Billy Joel okay?
Is he fine? Is he just fine?
He just released a new song.
He was at the Grammys
He looked
last
a little strokey in the photos I saw from last
night.
night.
He's, you know.
I think he's fine, Sid. Sticks from Maryland checking in. Gina, welcome back. How was the soccer tournament? She'll tell us all.
We'll talk about
coming
it.
up. Cardboard Chris checking in. Candace, the reluctant farmer, checking in. I have a goat named Carl Weathers.
I love that.
Along with Lucille Bluth, Lucille 2, and Kitty.
Yes. I support all of these names.
Carl is a fixed male goat.
I love that you have a goat named Carl Weathers.
Perry City listener checking in. Gina, your replacements did a great job, but I missed you. Even if Handsome Bill Allred won't admit that he did.
Oh, thank you.
Metal Shop Mark, and the wind is whipping in Tooele.
Yeah, I think the rain's coming down from up north, too. Somebody said it was raining in Ogden.
Yeah, the atmospheric river is upon us.
Lars in Flagstaff checking in from his new job. Mr. and Mrs. Cement Dave checking in. Babyface Monica and Jamarius checking in.
What a great name.
Good morning, Meg the musician checking in. All right. Well, traffic, Gina?
So far, so good. I have no accidents or slowdowns or animals running loose or ponding. I see no ponding, but I bet we experience ponding this week. Yeah, but if you see something, please share it with us. You are part of the Infiniteam. Every one of you, let us know what you're seeing out on the roads. Big O Tires, locally owned and operated in Utah now through February 19th. Get up to $160 off select sets of tires after mail-in rebate. Big O Tires, the team we trust.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after these messages and a song we will definitely have for you. Big Boy News and Opinnuendo. And Frank Christ Presents coming up. We'll explain that game on the way. All right? Harmon's for Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's, you should have a at-home Valentine date, and everything you need for that is at Harmon.
It's a grocery store, but it is now it's a Valentine's Day store. Everything you could possibly want for Valentine's Day is available at your neighborhood Harmon's grocery. Flowers and orchids. You can shop for them in the store, but you can shop for them online too. HarmonsGrocery.com. You can see all the flower arrangements they have, and you can order them online. They have specialty chocolates, local chocolates like V's Chocolates and True Frou. They have cupcakes, pastries, and only this time of year, a red velvet cheese ball.
And the chocolate-covered strawberries, they're going to be available 1 week from today.
Yeah, and this heart-shaped strawberry tray available starting Saturday, February 10th. Harmon's Grocery. How about buying some nice steaks for dinner? They have a great meat department.
You can do surf and turf.
Yep, absolutely. I've done that. So for Valentine's Day, shop your local Harmon's. Hey, so I was looking through some of these. I guess this is a list. I've had this for a while. 15 outlandish things parents have done to teach their kids a lesson.
Okay.
When my mother caught me smoking years ago when I was really young, and I mean like 8 or 9, she made me tried to make me smoke a whole pack of cigarettes.
To make you sick. So
To make
you
me
would,
sick.
And it didn't work.
No, it didn't work. No, I smoked about 4 of them, and I just kind of kept going. And she went, "Oh, never mind." But this is outlandish things parents have done. It came from Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about it. He said he did some pretty extreme behaviors as a parent when he was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He said when his kids were young, he once threw his son's mattress off a balcony and into a pool because his son hadn't made his own bed.
Well, that.
And another time he said
yeah.
he burned his daughter's shoes in the fireplace when she didn't put them away properly. So anyway, that's where this comes.
That sounds like crazy things.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like teaching anybody.
Exactly.
One woman tweeted, "I woke up to every single door on my car wide open, not because it got broken into, but because my dad was trying to teach me a lesson about leaving my car unlocked. So he went and opened every single door and just left them open."
The visual is...
I saw that my son had left his bike unlocked at school. To teach him a lesson, I rode it home. I thought he'd come home humbled. Instead, he called the cops. An officer found me walking and said, "We have you on camera stealing a bike." And my son said, "Hey, wait, no, that's my dad. That's my dad." I took all the cords for electronics away because my kid was, doing them too much.
Okay.
That's the worst thing I've done. Somebody says, my parents punished me by taking away my iPhone and giving me a Nokia for a month.
There, you can make a phone call if you need to.
My mother repeatedly told me and my sister, if you don't stop fighting over who gets to jump on the trampoline, I'm going to get rid of it. We laughed and continued to fight over it. And one day we walked outside with she walked outside with a huge knife and cut the fabric of the trampoline in half.
See, that's dumb.
Ruined it.
That's stupid.
Why?
Why? Because she bought the trampoline. Just destroying it is...
She bought it. She can destroy it.
I'd sell it or...
Thinking about the time when I was misbehaving as a child on Christmas Eve, my Italian grandmother punished me by feeding me Chef Boyardee.
That is a punishment.
On Christmas Eve.
From an Italian.
Yeah. That is.
My mom taught me a lesson when I was a kid about opening the door for people I don't know. One time, a Jehovah's Witness came knocking, and I opened the door and went and got my mom. A week later, she came back, and my mom let her in the house and made me talk with her for an hour at our kitchen table. Pretty mean. My dad got tired of my sister slamming doors, so he took the door off the hinges and burned it in the front yard.
Again, why
was
the
about
destroying things?
That was about 20 years ago. Recently, he admitted he only made a spectacle about burning it, since he had already planned on buying upgraded doors for the house in the future. It totally worked, though. Now I use the story to teach my kids not to slam their doors. Did your parents ever do? Yeah, come on, they must have done something like that.
One year, my sister Kelly, I can't remember what she did, but my mom was mad at her, and it was Christmas time, and there were wrapped presents under the Christmas tree, and she said, if you keep doing that, I'm going to unwrap presents for you under the tree and give them to somebody else. And she would open them in front of her and go, "Oh, this is a cute sweater."
Did she do it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
This is a good one.
That's harsh.
While on a trip, my kids were fighting over a toy in the back seat of the car. I asked them to stop a number of times. I finally reached back, grabbed the toy, rolled down the window, and tossed the toy out onto the street. They were very well behaved for the rest of the trip and every trip after that, actually.
Here's a text. My neighbor snapped his kid's laptop in half over his leg because he was on it too much.
Again, that's destroying an expensive thing that you bought to make a point.
But it makes a dramatic point.
You can just take it away.
But Gina, no. The dramatic point is, I paid good money for this. You are not doing what I asked you to do about it, and this is what the extreme I'm willing to go to.
That's crazy. You just say, you have lost this laptop. It is no longer yours. And you take it away.
Then they just resent you. You got to scare them. It's like mostly my dad would just slug me.
My mom loves to tell the story about throwing out our $500 boombox out the car window because me and my brother and I were fighting about it.
Youngest kid just called oldest kid a fraud. So like a good attorney parent or teacher a lesson, I made her comply with an FRCP Rule 9B and provide more specificity. I don't know what that means. I had a coworker who told me she was having trouble with her teenage son exhibiting rebellious behavior, so she took all of his favorite things and plastic wrapped them to the dining room table, where he could see them every time he walked through to his bedroom. She said it worked. Gradually, he earned it all back. He's grown up now and has a family of his own. So she just, wrapped it down so that he couldn't get him.
Not destroyed it, but...
Let's see. My family used to do Taco Tuesday growing up. I made a bad joke about how my friend's family's tacos tasted better because they made them with love. Oh. And she threw an entire taco in my face.
Well, she doesn't love you, obviously.
My dad canceled a vacation because I didn't pack my workout clothes. I was 13 and never worked out in my life.
That's weird.
That is weird. Son wasn't handing in homework, so I showed up to class dressed like Wonder Woman and spent the whole class sitting by him. Oh, that's
Shame.
That would be bad.
That's.
Oh, there's one like that here. My 10-year-old daughter says I'm embarrassing and refused to give me a kiss when I drop her off at school this morning. So I'm going to dress up as Big Bird from Sesame Street when I collect her this afternoon. That'll be embarrassing for her.
Yep. My dad found out I was smoking weed when I was younger and took all of my lighters. I wasn't old enough to buy more, so I just had weed, but no way to smoke it. Didn't take away the weed, huh?
Oh, so that reminds me.
You have a gas stove?
When my parents found out that I was smoking weed, they sent me to a psychiatrist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd that work?
I had to go have sessions with the psychiatrist. He said, "Your parents are crazy."
But while you're here, let's talk about some other things.
Yeah, which we did.
Wrap empty boxes and put them under the tree. If your child misbehaves, throw it in the fireplace.
Well, that's planning ahead.
Yeah. Now, see, my dad made the mistake of saying, "You're grounded. Mm-hmm. You're grounded for a week."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of him, I would never go, "Oh, no." "Oh, you mean here?
Here where my things
Where my
are?
stuff is? Oh, no." He then figured it out.
Oh.
Because it's what we said. Then he realized, I need to assign him chores on the farm.
Yes.
That's it. And that's when things turned around. Yeah, ground me. Go ahead.
Please. Oh, no, don't throw me in that brown patch.
Why don't you ground me to my bedroom? How about that?
You do not come out of there.
Do not come out of the bed. Okay, I'll sit and listen to my stereo.
You go to your room now.
Read my comic books. That'd be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a fine little list, I think.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X90.
Because she was just so great last night.
Tracy Chapman.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. She sounded exactly like that. She looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just gorgeous.
Yep.
Everything about that was her smile. She was so happy to be there. Everything about it was great.
So, throw it on, That's why you do it.
And I also appreciated Luke Combs more after that.
Country guy.
Because he recorded that, and I was kind of irritated by it. They did a little montage of him before they played the song where he talked about when he was a kid riding in his dad's truck, and his dad had that cassette, and he said, we listened to that over and over and over again. And he said it was my favorite song when I was a kid. And
Why?
when I recorded this latest album, I said, "Hey, I want to just do a cover of my favorite song." It was,
And why were you irritated by the fact that he did it?
I don't know, just
I heard it and it was good. I thought, oh, that's a nice thing to do. He obviously,
it was nice to hear.
liked the song.
It was nice to hear the backstory of it.
Yeah. All right, so we got big boy news right now. Right after that, we're going to jump right in.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine. It's the Dead Celebrity Game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrities. 3 of them are fine. 1 of them dead. Pick the dead one correctly. You will win a fabulous prize. What is that?
Tickets to see Silver Sun Pickups coming to the Union on February 20th.
That'll be a good show. Silver Sun Pickups Ticks at 877-602-9696. Call and play Frank Christ Presents. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Salt Lake Magazine calls Swan Lake breathtaking, featuring the timeless music of Tchaikovsky, performed live with the Ballet West Orchestra February 9th through the 17th. You can get tickets at balletwest.org.
Luke Combs also said this, I think, which is pretty telling. He said, just to be associated with Tracy Chapman in any way is super humbling for me. Now, that song, Fast Car, known for its delicate acoustic guitar melody, as you just heard, and a nice, really wonderful lyrics. Luke Combs' cover of that song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs and won the CMA Award for Song of the Year, making the first time a black woman had received that honor. Just the fact that he recorded it brought that song back into the public eye, and I think that's another great thing that Luke Combs did.
I think I saw this morning that there are 2 of her albums went to
#1 on
iTunes.
On iTunes yesterday.
And then number 4, also in the number 4 position, another one of her records.
Chapman hasn't performed publicly in several years, making this a landmark appearance. Fast Car, however, is no stranger to the prestigious award ceremony. She won the Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance with that in 1989. Let's see, tragedy in the music world. Wayne Kramer has died.
Yes.
75 years old. Mr. Kramer, whose explosive guitar playing with the influential Detroit band MC5 in the late 60s and early 70s helped set the template for punk rock. He died on Friday. He was 75 years old. His death was announced in a post on his official Instagram. Apparently it was pancreatic cancer. The MC5, short for Motor City 5, formed in Lincoln Park, Michigan in 1965. Mr. Kramer and Fred Sonic Smith teamed to provide the twin guitar attack that was the heart of the band's sound and the centerpiece of its notoriously loud live performances. In ranking, Kramer and Smith together at number 225 last year on the list of the 250 great guitarists of all times.
I never
on
knew
Rolling
that
Stone magazine.
the MC of MC5 was from Motor City.
Yeah, well, they from Detroit, and you can't play that.
Yes, I can.
Is
I
it
checked into it.
Is it deleted? Yeah. It's actually, that song is "Kick Out the Jams, Mother Effers."
Well, no, it's just called Kick Out the Jams.
Well,
It's just whenever he performed it live, he would introduce it.
I think
by saying
when I
that.
first bought the record, it had it in parentheses.
Yeah.
It had that, and it was, and as a matter of fact, I seem to remember the cover being, the record stores had to go and scratch out something on the cover of it.
Because I
recall.
Googled the lyrics, and it's not in the lyrics, and it's only in the live version.
Now, let's see. Oh, here's the headline of the year, as far as I'm concerned. This is from our friends. I'm not even going to do the story. This is from our friends at KSL Radio. And here's the headline. Where is it? Come on, here it is. Oh, I've lost it, and it's the headline of the year.
Well, you can't tease the headline of the
I
year.
know.
And not read
I know.
it.
I'm going to find it. It's here. It's here somewhere.
I've got to know.
Oh, here it is. Woman dead after being found by police in Bountiful. Woman dead after being found.
She was dead after they found her.
Woman
found
dead
her, and then
after
she's dead.
being found dead. And that's how the story begins. A woman reported missing is dead after police found her.
Who wrote that?
There's something really, really wrong with that writing. All right, let's move on to more serious matter. And I don't mean to make light of the fact
No.
that there's a woman in Bountiful who was beloved by her family and is no longer with us. Let's see. Spencer Cox took his Republican leanings and went down to the border.
It's like a rite of passage for Republican
I
politicians.
don't understand.
He was
this
joined by
lean in.
He was joined by again. It is perfectly understandable. Perfectly understandable. He is doing everything he can to identify himself with the MAGA Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Cox joined by 24 other Republican governors, or 14 of the 24 Republican governors, who co-signed a letter claiming that the Biden administration has violated the federal government's compact with the states, an abdication that justifies state usurpation of federal authority at the border. One of the governors there was Utah's own Governor Cox. He returned to Salt Lake on Sunday night and said this is an issue. Yes. This is a crisis. Okay. And we should all be concerned about this. However, he said wanting to prevent illegal crossings does not equate to hating immigrants. Utah is a state that loves immigrants and refugees, he added. But we have to do this in an orderly manner, and that's not happening at all. Cox said, drugs are being brought across the border. I don't think you saw that. President Biden can't fix all of this, but he could fix most of this with the authority he has right now, he said. It was a remarkable rhetorical escalation in the disagreement that Governor Greg Abbott began advancing as soon as Democrat Joe Biden was elected in 2020 and later sworn in as president. This kind of language harkens back to the theory of secession the southern states used to leave the Union when the Civil War started. So community activists are disappointed in Governor Cox, local community activists. Liliana Bolanos with Utah with All Immigrants said Cox's support surprised her. I thought it was something that the governor also prioritized and stood for. I felt like he failed the minority groups that included the undocumented residents here in Utah by encouraging the kind of thing that's going on at the border. And there are people from Utah down there right now who are part of that posse or whatever it is that's.
It's militia-y.
Militia, and it's just terrible. It's just terrible.
And they're baptizing people down there.
Yeah.
So you tell me, is it a cult or not?
I'm just looking at the New York Times. There is a bipartisan bill in the Senate right now.
Yeah.
An immigration bill that gives both sides what they want. And,
Exactly.
And the House is saying, no, we're going to probably reject that.
No, they need something to run on. Yeah. It's a crisis. It's a crisis.
Well, here, this will help.
Well,
It's
no,
better.
it'll be a crisis, but we'll take care of it.
And Governor Cox has joined that group.
I'm disappointed.
Despite pleas from 3 mayors and a pollution warning from the state's air quality director, Utah state legislators have advanced a quixotic bill that could end up with Utah taxpayers owning a 40-year-old coal plant.
What?
If these units are decommissioned and taken off the grid, they will never be permitted again, said Senator Darren Owens of Fountain Green.
Oh, well.
He's sponsoring Senate Bill 161, which spells out a process for setting a price and selling the coal-fired power plant at Millard County's Intermountain Power Project to someone who would continue to run it after the Intermountain Power Agency brings its new natural gas hydrogen power plant online next year and close the coal facility. Owens' district includes coal mines. But the Senate Natural Resources Agriculture Environment Committee on Wednesday heard from several people inside and outside the government who said the plan was too late, expensive, and could even force less coal burning elsewhere in Utah to keep within air quality commitments. The legislature's going to probably go ahead with it anyway. And Trump's new boast is weird, weird, weird. The former president resurrected one of his most persistent claims during an interview that aired over the weekend, the one about people being reduced to tears when they see him.
Sure.
I have steel people that every time they see me, they start to cry. They hug me. They say, "You saved our industry," he said this weekend. If that story rings a bell, it's because Trump has told plenty of variations of crying people over the years.
They're always
often
big men.
tough guys,
crying.
who had never cried before.
Tears in their eyes.
In 2019, he told of a man who wept as he begged Trump to cut regulations. I don't think he'd ever cried in his life, and I don't think he cried when he was a baby. He was crying. He said, "Sir, you gave me back my life and my property." He also spoke of others at the event as tough people, strong people, men and women. Half of them were crying.
Because you smell bad.
He mentioned somebody else also breaking down in front of him. He was a strong, tough guy, and he was crying. "Mr. President, thank you for saving America. I'm telling you, that man, he was tough. I don't think he cried when he was a baby."
This has happened so often. Surely there's video
yeah.
of these weeping.
There must be.
Big, strong
I haven't
men.
seen
There
any.
should
No.
be lots of video.
Because it's not happening.
He spoke of a 2017 event where farmers and ranchers were weeping behind him as he gave a speech, although footage from the event
Yeah.
does not show anyone weeping.
No.
Maybe he doesn't know what weeping is.
Maybe they're crying on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm crying on the
More recently, he spoke of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis crying as he begged Trump for an endorsement. And finally, this story. Roscosmos cosmonaut. Roscosmos, that's what they call their space agency. His name is Kononenko. He has now spent, he has broken the record for time spent in space. He will reach a total of 1,000 days in space on June 5th, and by late September, he will have clocked 1,110 days in space. "I fly into space to do my favorite thing, not to set records," he said. "I am proud of all my achievements, but I am more proud that the record for the total duration of human stay in space is still held by a Russian cosmonaut."
Well, the papers want to know whose shirts he wears. So,
Is that-
sports? No, not sports, because Amy Donaldson will have
Yeah.
that for us. Weather, traffic.
Okay, so here comes the atmospheric river, or it continues to come anyway. So today, 70% chance of rain, 49 for a high. And we have chance of rain over and over and over again this week, all the way until Thursday, where it finally gets cold enough that might change to snow. Traffic, let's see, friend of the program says strong winds, I-80 in Tooele County. One Walmart semi-truck got blown over, causing some slowage. They haven't shut it down or anything. I've seen a bunch of semis still going that way, but I am in a tall box truck, and I was pretty scared out there. Be safe out there, Infiniteam member. Somebody also says free van-sized tumbleweed, dead center lane, SR 138. Thank you for that. If you see something like these folks, you can text us 33986. Do you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, multiple unfiled years? Contact McClure & Stewart for a free consultation. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Behold, a pale rider, a pale scooter rider. It is the specter of death hovering about the studio now. I like that you can float sometimes. I think that's fun to watch.
Oh, it is fun, actually. Yeah.
Were you hovering
wish I
over
could do
Billy Joel last night at the Grand?
I just checked on him for Sid. He's fine. He's
Okay,
just fine.
That-
She's still skeptical, though.
That voice you hear is the necromancer himself, Frank Christ, the man who takes I guess you're not a man
being.
anymore, are you?
The being.
Well, yeah, being, I guess. I don't, as you can see, I don't have any.
He's a skeleton, ladies and gentlemen,
Does
wearing
this mean
a
I
robe
can use
and-
the bathroom at the state capitol?
I know.
What does this
Yeah.
mean?
I'm confused.
I don't think I can.
I don't think you can either. Frank Christ, he's the Grim Reaper. He reaps the souls of celebrities, and that's horrible for him because Frank loves
I
celebrities.
love our precious celebrities.
I know you do. Everything they say and do,
It's right, and you know it
I know.
in your heart of hearts.
Frank joins us every weekday to play the game we call Frank Christ Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
Frank has given me a list of 4 actors, and 3 of the actors on this list.
Oh, they're fine. Just fine.
But one of them, Frank has taken away to the sorting station, the distribution center.
Distribution.
And it's a contestant's job to figure out which one of these celebrities is dead, and who do we have to play?
Ben.
Ben?
Ben is on the phone.
Ben, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Thank
good,
goodness.
Ben.
Thank goodness, Ben. Ben, it's National Disaster Day, a day to raise awareness about different types of disasters that can and have occurred. And so Frank has given me a list of actors in disaster movies.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you pick the dead one, and you will win what, Gina?
Tickets to see Silver Sun Pickups at the Union on February 20th.
All right. You ready, Ben?
Yep.
Here we go. Number 1 on this list of actors in disaster movies, Sophia Loren. Acting for more than 70 years. It would take hours to list the movies that Sophia Loren had been in. Here are some highlights, though. Boy on a Dolphin, Legend of the Lost, The Pride and the Passion with Cary Grant and Frank Sinatra, Lady L with Paul Newman, Arabesque with Gregory Peck, and Charlie Chaplin's final film, A Countess from Hong Kong with Marlon Brando. Her disaster film is called Cassandra Crossing, about a disease-infected Swedish terrorist who infects across-European train passengers as they head to a derelict arch bridge which is about to collapse.
So it's very much a disaster.
Yes. That's number one, Sophia Loren. Number two, Mare Winningham. She is the recipient of 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, been nominated for an Academy Award, 2 Golden Globes, and 2 Tonys. Her film and TV roles include The Thornbirds, St. Elmo's Fire, Turner and Hooch, The War, Dandelion, Swing Vote Brothers, and Mildred Pierce. Her disaster film, Miracle Mile, panic about an imminent nuclear holocaust. Number 2, Mare Winningham. Number 3, Charlie Martin Smith, known for his roles in American Graffiti, The Buddy Holly Story, Never Cry Wolf, Starman, The Untouchables, Deep Cover, and the band played on. His disaster movie, it's Deep Impact. A comet is on a collision course with Earth, and the results will not be ideal. Number 3, Charlie Martin Smith. And finally, Maximilian Schell. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor for the film Judgment at Nuremberg. He got an Oscar nomination for The Man in the Glass Booth and for a character with 2 identities. And he was in Julia, and he was in John Carpenter's Vampires. His disaster movie, Krakatoa, east of Java, based on the real-life explosion of a volcano on the island of Krakatoa in 1883. Number 4, Maximilian Schell. All right, Ben, which one of those actors is no longer with us?
Maximilian Schell.
Yep, you're right. He died in 2014 at the age of 83.
I thought you were going to say his disaster movie was The Black Hole.
Oh, that's right. He was in that.
That was a terrible movie.
It was terrible.
It was a disaster.
Yes. All right. Congratulations, Ben. You're going to go see Silver Sun Pickups, okay?
All right.
All right. Hang on, Ben.
Oh, well, I had such an exhausting weekend.
I know.
So Carl and
I've got a couple of others I haven't mentioned yet. Wayne Kramer.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them. I got to go check on Roger Staubach, though.
Oh, really?
82.
Oh. He's a sport.
He's a sport, and, you know, it'd be unfortunate if he were to go before the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frank.
I'll just mention this again that a friend of the program sent in. Strong winds, I-80 in Tooele County. One Walmart semi-truck got blown over, causing some slowage. This friend of the program is driving a tall box truck, and that was a little scary for him. So, crash westbound Highway 193 at 30th West in Syracuse, Davis County. That comes to us from a friend of the program as well. If you see something like tumbleweeds in the road, free van-sized tumbleweed, dead center lane, SR 138. Thank you for that. That came in via text at 33986.
KXRK Provo, we will take a break. We'll be back. Sports with Amy Donaldson after this. Also, Boner of the Day.
And then I was reading a story today, it's here somewhere, that men are often likely to be the ones to fall in love at first sight, as opposed to women, which I think is interesting.
Did they say why that happened?
Maybe, but I didn't read the whole story. I just read the headline. I haven't read it yet. Let's see if I can find it.
Well, I'm certain.
There it is.
I'm certain it happens all the time.
If you mean,
Sorry.
You believe in a love at first sight?
Yeah.
Some people believe that you have to thoroughly get to know someone before you can fall in love. Others would beg to differ, swearing that love at first sight isn't limited to fairy tales. And apparently 59% of men believe that love at first sight is a thing.
Well, can
49% of women.
Lust at
That's
first
what I was
sight?
going to say.
Well,
Like, I'm very attracted to that person. I don't know how you could be in love with somebody you'd not
yeah, I mean,
gotten to know.
it happened to me once.
You were in love.
I swear to God.
Like I would throw myself in front of a train for this person.
It was so pronounced that I think after the first time I saw this person, it might have been that at the very first time I saw them, I said this to them, but it was short a day or so afterward. I don't know how to explain this, but I believe that I have fallen in love with you and I don't know you.
And what did they say to that?
That's a great opening line, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I knew who she was, but I didn't. I had very little contact with her.
How did she react to that?
Positively, very well. As a matter of
Really?
fact, she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't." And I mean, I don't know what to do about that, but. And she said, "Well, let's find out."
Well,
or something to that effect. And I sort of thought that it would be.
that's the one.
Yeah, that's the only time it's. I've fallen in lust.
I was going to say a lot
I can
of
see seeing somebody and going,
Yeah.
I am very, very attracted to that person I just saw.
and a lot of people mistake that for love.
Yeah, first time I saw my wife, the woman I'm married to, Carrie was with me.
Yeah.
And I just went, "Oh my God," That's but that to me
that was lust.
Yeah, that was lust. Mm-hmm. But this was different. The time that it happened, it was different.
And did you find that person to have some quality that?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like now I know why I felt that way when I saw this person the first time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we had a relationship for a while, but it was not to be. And I won't go into the details of that because they're too painfully embarrassing. All in all. Somebody said I told that story recently. I think I have mentioned it before, but it just made me think of it reading that story today. It was never happened to you. Never fallen in love. No. Been attracted. Very, very hard attraction.
But not love.
Texter. Hey, Bill, there's a song by Alan Jackson called I'm Married to You, but I Don't Even Know Your Name.
I like that. You walk up and you say, I'm married to you and I don't even know your name.
That's all. Yes, good opening.
Here's the thing about country music is that a lot of it is novelty songs, okay? A lot of them are novelty songs.
Somebody in the chat room says that I understand what Bill's talking about. It happened to me, but I didn't have the guts to say anything about it. Yeah. And I couldn't see. That's another thing that I really thought it was something because I had to say it.
You were compelled.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, 7:06.
Joni in Harrisville is checking in with us.
Harrisville.
Yeah.
Joni.
Harrisville.
Okay. Sports brought to you by?
Brought to you by... Are you trying to not be bored? Pick up a board game from Haster Games. They have board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice, paints, and more. 6831 South State and online at HasterGames.com.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Are you okay, Amy?
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Amy is here to talk about sports, but she's also a podcaster. The Letter is her standout podcast.
Yep, it's
And, got
season
another
2 coming out in May.
Season 2, okay.
Yeah,
In May.
it might be the end of April. I don't know.
okay.
Is it called The Letter Season 2? Or
It
what?
is.
All right.
Yeah.
Be looking for it. Follow Amy on AD on Sports on all those platforms.
Yep.
All right.
All the above. You'll see.
I guess-
a little Taylor Swift content,
A little bit.
a little sports content.
Well, yeah, just like there will be a little
And some
Taylor,
dogs.
a little Taylor Swift content at the Super Bowl this year.
And probably some dogs.
And there you go. Yeah. Well, the 49ers, they had
Yeah.
a little puppy fest. So I wish everyone would do this. I think Real Salt Lake did it one year where they brought adoptable dogs out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the county. They did something with the county.
So,
Very cute.
have you made a prediction for the Super Bowl?
I haven't. My prediction that I made to my mom yesterday was, I just hope that the Chiefs win so that Travis Kelce gets to go back to the White House, and it annoys all of everybody who thinks this is a conspiracy.
That's as good a reason as
the
any.
fact that it's that there's this conspiracy about this being a psyops, of pairing.
What I love about it is that the Bros are so upset. They're cheering against Kansas City, which means they're cheering for the gayest city on the planet. I just love this. Everything about it.
I was reading just about San Francisco, the team, and yesterday. They're probably going to win.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll be a good game.
I don't know what will happen in the game. I just know that I am in favor of anything that annoys people who are mean and dumb.
Yeah.
So that's all.
That's
if
the
you
reason.
saw if you haven't seen it, you could go back and watch either the New Heights podcast, which Travis Kelce details his visit to the White House, or you can watch him give the Chiefs jersey to the president and tell him to look over there, and then run. He doesn't run. He walks to the dais and says, "Oh, I've been waiting all my life for this." And then Patrick Mahomes steps up and says, "No, it's not happening. We're sorry about this, Mr. President." But yeah, so I'm all in favor of chaos.
Yeah.
So. But we had chaos. The Pro Bowl was chaos. I this is what I was reading that headline you hate, Bill. How do you watch the Pro Bowl? Because it was crazy, and it's not like just a football game anymore. It's all this like a weekend of
skills.
events. There's
Really?
skills. Yeah, and some of it was interesting, like the relay races I could figure out. My problem is that it's very fun. It's a reward for the players who are named to the All-Pro team, right?
Yeah.
But it's and they're trying not to get anybody hurt, which I appreciate. But like Puka Nakua from BYU
Yeah.
in Orem High School was in the best catch contest. So I couldn't find where you watched it live, right?
Oh.
And then I realized they pre-taped them and then they just showed them randomly.
Yeah.
So I found that video, but I didn't understand who won. I wasn't even certain that the guy he competed against, the Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku.
Were there rules?
Good question there. It was not explained well. It said here, and it told you a little bit about the player, and then said, "Here's the thing." And he did it on a wakeboard, so it was kind of a cool thing. But I didn't know.
He caught a pass while on a wakeboard.
Yeah, on his
So he won.
So he won, but they didn't announce that until later. They bring them out and they say, "Hey, we're going to tell you who won the best catch." But so you're watching the clip, and maybe if you watched it live, they said that, but I didn't know how to watch it live because I'm dumb, and I was like, I don't. But
There's
that's
a lot going on.
That was my beef with the whole thing. Was like it was too disjointed.
Now they actually play. They don't play a football game.
They
anymore.
play a flag game.
They play flag now.
And they had the Manning brothers coaching.
Well, the
either
Manning
team.
brothers coached the whole time, and Eli was the NFC was killing it in the skills competition. Everyone was there for Jason Kelce, and there were a few sightings. He didn't do too great on the. I did understand the snapping the ball through the hole, like it was cornhole, but for snappers.
Okay.
With a
Yeah.
football.
Cornhole for snappers. Well,
Yep, there
that
you
sounds
go.
exciting.
It does. That's a headline for you.
Yeah.
But the AFC outscored in the final quarter of the flag football game, 1916, but they still lost. They won the flag football game 50-34, but they lost the competition because the NFC did so much better in all these skills competitions.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
won the relay race, and they, it was so 64-59 if you have any idea what the scores mean. But yeah, it was, you were watching to see the players interact with each other, and the way it was confusing.
The way they did things like best catch, the person who won is based on voting, online voting. People watching voted for who won.
again, I wasn't alone in this. Lots of sports writers were like, you need to set this up and hype it up. And like the dunk contest, everyone knows and understands the parameters of the dunk contest.
For the NBA.
Not so much with the best catch. They definitely need to fix that because that's a cool idea. But the way it was executed was 2 players. I didn't even know until the second guy went that, that must be 3 tries. It was not. But so the NFC players, they each get $80,000 for the winning. So it's not like, without some value.
Yeah.
And then the AFC gets half of that. They get $40,000.
Amy, if you just Google the 2024 Pro Bowl, it says you can see it live on ESPN or ABC.
I understand that.
Okay.
Yes.
You said you didn't know how to watch
No,
it.
but just like if you're just paying attention and doing your thing in life, you have to go and seek that out. And that's my issue with the way they set it up. And not just watch it live. I'm not just going to sit and watch relay races and cornhole competitions live. I'm busy, but I wanted to know, okay, well, what time is that catch thing on, right?
Yeah.
But you have to really work hard. And all I'm saying is if you want fans to be more invested, you have to make it easier and more clear how this is going to unfold. And it is an evolving thing to try to have some kind of all-star event for football players.
Yeah, they used to just play a game.
Yes.
And then nobody wanted to play in it because they didn't want to get hurt.
And people didn't really watch it either.
Well, because people weren't playing hard, right? Yeah. So, anyway.
What else we got?
So, we got the Utah Jazz. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis and Damian Lillard of Weber State, they were here. It was a great game. It was definitely the fourth quarter, or second half, really, but the fourth quarter for sure. There was this playoff feel, and Keontae George of the Jazz got his first double-double, but they win 123-108, outscore the Bucks in that last quarter 40-13. So very fun. And congratulations to Utah runners. They're going to go to the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Oh, really?
Connor Mantz and let's see, what's this other kid's name? Young. What's his first name?
I don't know.
Clayton Young. So these guys train at BYU. There's 4 runners from Utah who've been to the Olympics to run the marathon. Ed Eyestone, who's the BYU coach now, and he actually is coaching these guys. And then Jared Ward, who also went to BYU. And I think he went to, he was maybe up north, Davis High, something like that. He came from up north. But, yeah, these guys are all Utah natives. They've all gone to BYU. They're all returned missionaries. And they finished 1 and 2 in the marathon. It was Mance. It's his fourth marathon that he's ever run, 2:09:05. And then another running news. Let's see, we got a local high school kid broke the 4-minute mile. JoJo Jordan is a senior.
He sounds fast.
He's a senior at Olympus High. He was competing in an international event, the mile. New Balance does this 1 mile competition. He goes under 4 minutes. Let's see, there's 3:59:87. Only 21 high school athletes have ever done it. So, yeah, fun. And Utah gymnasts, they earned their 5th win of the season with a win over Oregon State. And Maylee O'Keefe scored her 14th career 10 on the beam.
Wow.
If you have not seen that, you can Google that. Or look on Utah's Twitter feed. It's there. But she ties Teresa Kulikowski, which anybody who's watched Utah gymnastics.
And big sports news, F1 news, Lewis Hamilton leaving Mercedes and going to drive for Ferrari.
That actually is big news for biggest F1 fans.
Yeah.
So
he's the winningest driver of all time.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Amy Donaldson,
Thank
AD
you.
on Sports. Podcasts, The Ladder. Look for that wherever podcasts are found.
Thank you. Traffic.
Just that crash we told you about earlier, eastbound I-80, about a mile east of Magna in Salt Lake County. The left lane closed there. What are you seeing on the roads? You can text us 33986. Experience the magic and enchantment of Cat and Cauldron, your premier destination for all things occult and metaphysical in Taylorsville. catandcauldron.com.
Boners coming up. Here are the candidates you'll vote for. Number 1, authorities predicted he'd be back, just not that soon. Number 2, people, you've got to be more careful with your drugs. And number 3, the border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good and evil.
Jesus. All right, boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up. Stand by for that. Harmon's for Valentine's Day.
I'm going to get me one of them red velvet cheese balls for
You
sure.
better get it because it's only available this time of year.
Harmon's, it's a grocery store, you know, but for Valentine's Day, they really put on just a great show. Anything you could possibly want for a Valentine's Day gift, you can get at Harmon's. They have just, little specialty gifts, little things
Like
you can
those,
buy.
and they feature a lot of local products too. Those V chocolates are delicious. They have those.
Yes, I love those.
How about steaks? Get some steaks or some prime beef, scallops, or surf and turf, crab Oscar, sautéed mushrooms, all kinds of great things that you can have for your Valentine's Day dinner.
You can dine in, spend Valentine's Day at home.
Yeah, or get a cooking school class certificate. That'd be a great date night for Valentine's Day.
I look forward to the chocolate-covered strawberries every year. They do it better than anybody, and they'll start to be available next week.
Yeah, they want the strawberries to be fresh. So they
HarmonsGrocery.com or go to your local Harmon's Grocery.
We got a short period of time here, so I figured I could tell a little story about what I experienced this last week. Me and my wife have been, since we got married, living in the same apartment for the last 2 years. Our lease is up this upcoming September, using this time to, look around. What else is there available for about the same price point?
Another apartment?
Another apartment,
Not
correct.
a home.
Yeah. No, that's not happening for my generation. Come on. And looking around, we've seen a few places, all absolutely terrible. Nothing like they were, nothing like what they looked like online.
they're lying to you.
Even one of them, we showed up and knocked on the door, and the guy walked out confusingly, and he's like, "My place isn't for rent. Like, I live here. I don't know why you're not the only couple to show up here today." And we frankly could have gotten shot if that was the wrong person.
That's weird.
But this last Thursday, we go look at this place. My wife has been very good about searching for apartments online. She says, "Hey, meet up with me at this one apartment that I see. It looks really promising. It's a house from a private renter. Let's go check it out." We show up there, knock on the door. Nobody answers again. I have PTSD from that one interaction, so I'm like, let's just go. Let's get out of here. And she's like, no. And she knocks again. She says, nobody's here. Like, let's see what's around. The guy finally opens the door 5 minutes after the time that we were supposed to be showed. And he has people on Zoom on his phone. He's like, sorry, I'm just wrapping up a video tour with these guys. Come on in. Check out the place, and I'll come back to answer any questions.
This is how hard it is to find something in your price point.
Right.
There's more people than places.
$200 a month is not.
It's not easy.
I know. $200 a month, you can't.
So we swap places with him. He goes outside. We go inside. Shut the door. I have a horrible sense of smell, and I immediately go, yeah, it smells like a bathroom in here.
See, and the people on Zoom, they're not getting the smell.
Exactly. Right?
Why? You gotta go in person.
Why did it smell like a bathroom?
I could not tell you. It definitely wasn't well kept. It's not as clean as the photos, proposed. The front space is a living room. It was advertised as 2-bedroom, 1 bath. You go into the bedroom, and it's just another living room. Right?
Why did you keep going? Once you smelled the smell, why
You're
wasn't
there.
that
I
enough?
don't know. Maybe
I would have left.
This story gets crazier.
Oh, okay.
So we go into the living room, which leads into the bedroom. It's essentially, what do they call them? Like a shotgun shack style. It just goes straight to the back.
Boxcar style.
Yeah, and the only room that wasn't on the same level was the bedroom that you had to walk down into.
Okay.
Creepy.
Has a window to the back, no back door to this backyard. Right? So we look at the space and go, this isn't for us.
No.
Right? Let's get out of here. We go back to the front door, walk out. The guy meets us, and he's frantically like, you have to see the backyard.
Nope.
And I
We're good.
I'm not that person. I just go, whatever. I'm here. Let's see it. Other people had already showed up who were slated to see the place after us, and now they're waiting
This
for
is
us.
back to back to back.
We follow around the back way, around an alleyway. It was presented like a duplex, but Once I got to the backyard, I realized, it's just a house that they put a wall up in between, and we would live in one side of the house, and they would live on the other side, the guy that owns it. I only say that because, again, there would be no back door for us.
We climb out the window.
Yeah. So we go back there, and not that it's a bad thing, but if you're presenting a house, you definitely want to, give it a a little pizzazz.
A little bit.
The backyard has patchy grass compared to the photos online, which had full grass. There's just dog turds littering the entire yard.
And he made it a point to have you go
he's
look
like,
at
yeah,
it?
exactly. And he's like, come back here, come look at this. He's like,
Some people like dog turds, Gina.
you have to see the shack. And I'm like, what about the shack is going on?
That's where I keep the bodies.
So we would have to cross through his side of the backyard to get to our shack if we lived there, right? And as we're crossing his side of the backyard, he's like, I'm going to put up a fence here so it splits the yards. And I'm like, but I would still have to go through your yard to get to the shack, so what's the point of that?
And what's the shack for?
So we get to it, and I'm waiting for the grand reveal of the shack. I open up the door, just plywood shack, nothing inside of it. And he goes, see? Huh? What am I supposed to do in here? And he goes, no. Hold on. I don't know what. He must be on something, frankly. He goes, you have to see behind the shack.
Okay.
I kid you not. Okay. This is what he tells me.
Okay, what's behind the shack?
My wife at this point goes, no, I'm out. I'm not doing anything. And I go, maybe there's a carousel back there, right? Let's see it. So we go to the side, and there is an alley for the shack now that is so tiny we have to turn and shimmy through it.
Oh, boy.
It's me and this
He's
grown
going
man
to kill you.
standing behind a shack in a 2-by-10-foot open space of dirt with open sunlight, no shade. And he looks around and goes, eh? And I'm like, what can I do back here? And he's like, well, this is where we go to get away from it all. And I'm like, isn't that what the backyard is for?
No, it's
right?
for a dog.
That's where the dogs crap.
So, I go, okay, great. And I turn around, I shimmy back out of the whole thing. And he's like, no, you don't understand. You could read back here. And I go, yeah, that's what I want to do behind the shack in the open sunlight.
So when do you move in?
We through the site that we found it through, we sent an application beforehand. So if we did like it, we could get on it. I made fun of the guy. I'm normally fairly nice in person, but I was kind of ripping into him about I want to read a book behind your shack with the dog turds. Okay. He approved us. I saw in an email the next day, stamp of approval. If you want to move in, you're absolutely certified.
Nope.
So I'm not sure if any other people are experiencing the same.
Can I ask you how much this place would be?
To be frank with you, $1,700 a month.
Really?
Without utilities.
What?
Yeah.
You mean there are no utilities, or you'd have to pay?
We'd have to pay for the utilities, but maybe the smell is.
This is how hard it is to find a place in Salt Lake.
So
I think the first apartment I ever rented.
Yeah.
I think it was $80 a month.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
It was not a great place by any means, but.
So if you have any sort of knowledge about where I should be looking, or would like to have me and my cute wife and our basset hounds stay at your private residence, reach out at ndavis@bwaymedia.com.
How much time do you have?
I got 2 months, so we're looking. Yeah, we're looking early. We're fine.
Hassle.
This day.
Oh, yeah?
In 1982.
Oh, yeah?
ABC released Poison Arrow, the second single from their debut studio album, The Lexicon of Love.
I had it. I owned it.
You did?
I had that and How to Be a Zillionaire.
Tell me. All right, so there you go. Time for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These will be examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, February 5, 2024. We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it. Got to win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1. Authorities predicted he'd be back, just not that soon. Often when a criminal is arrested, and then they they serve their time, and then the cops always say he'll be back.
He'll be
back. A Springfield man is back behind bars after law enforcement officials say he had committed another crime about 15 minutes after being released from custody.
Wow.
15 minutes?
Yes. The Sangamon County Sheriff's Office said James Kirst was arrested by the Springfield Police Department for criminal trespassing. He was released from the Sangamon County Jail at 7:34 p.m. with a notice to appear in court. 15 minutes later, at 7:49, officials said Mr. Kirst called Sangamon County Central Dispatch and said he'd thrown a metal pole through the front entrance of the Sangamon County building. The damage cost $3,500 to repair. Kirst was arrested at the nearby Wyndham Hotel without incident and returned to the county jail.
Does he like being in jail?
It doesn't say that he wanted to be back in jail, but
3 hots in a cot? Is that what he's going for?
It was spaghetti night.
Oh,
so wanted to get back in.
He has Mr. Kirst has 42 previous arrests and charges from other crimes.
I think he's comfortable in jail. That's what I think.
He now
we got a word for people like you, Hi.
He currently remains in custody as he refused to attend his first court appearance. Boner candidate number 1. Authorities predicted he'd be back, just not that soon. Here's boner candidate number 2. 2 stories with this one.
Okay.
People, you've got to be more careful with your drugs. Sydney, Australia. A man has been stung with drug charges after he accidentally handed police a satchel containing what was believed to be cocaine during a random breath test. The driver of the white Mazda utility vehicle was stopped by Hawkesbury Highway Patrol for a random test at Mulgrave when he was asked to produce his license. The Traffic and Highway Patrol Command said when the man handed over his license to the officer allegedly felt an object attached to the back of his license. It was a clear bag, resealable bag of white powder. It was, in fact, cocaine. The driver said, oops, I forgot I had it in my wallet. And in Memphis, Tennessee, a man wanted for attempted murder pulled a bag of cocaine out of his butt in front of police who had arrested him. Memphis police received a tip Thursday that a man had attempted murder warrant. Ramon Ivory was selling drugs outside of a gas station. Officers watched Mr. Ivory make a number of hand-to-hand transactions at the store. He was found with a gun, 14 live rounds in the magazine, a scale, and several baggies in his pocket, according to police, and he had active warrants out. After he was placed in the back of the police car, he told officers, I've got drugs in my rectum.
Well,
nearly killed him.
The officers let Mr. Ivory out of the car so he could dig the drugs out. Boner candidate number 2. People, you've got to be more careful with your drugs. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. The border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good versus evil.
Sure. Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, Utah's authentic Jewish deli with expanded hours, now open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., breakfast till 10:30, lunch, dinner, live music Fridays and Saturdays. More information at feldmansdeli.com.
Tragedy. He was one of a kind. He was an original. He will be missed. Don Murray has died. He was 94 years old. Don Murray, he made his film debut as Marilyn Monroe's infatuated cowboy in Bus Stop in 1956. He played a priest, a drug addict, a gay senator, myriad other roles in movies, on television, and on stage for over 60 years. He died on Friday at his home in Santa Barbara. He was... if you saw him, you would probably go, oh, yeah, Don Murray.
Yeah.
When he was young, he was really handsome. He was in the stage production of Bus Stop. And then Joshua Logan, who was going to do a movie version of it, went to see the play and went, oh, yeah, he's got to be the guy in the movie, too, with Marilyn Monroe. And he was a good actor, and he did a lot of things in his life. And he was also quite an activist. He did a movie called he directed it, I think, called The Cross and the Switchblade with Pat Boone. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. And Arlene Gottfried has died. She was Gilbert Gottfried's sister and a photographer of some note. She made arresting images of ordinary people in New York's humble neighborhoods, and earned her. She was not recognized as a great photographer for a while, but she, in the last years of her life, was recognized as one of the finest street photographers ever. She died last Tuesday, at her home in Manhattan. She was 66. Her brother, Gilbert Gottfried, said the cause was. No, he didn't say that.
No, he's been dead for.
Yeah, he didn't say that because this is a story. This is from the New York Times. They do obituaries sometimes of people that they overlooked at the time they died. So there was not an obituary of her when she died.
Oh,
but they published this one on Saturday. Gilbert always talked about her. As a matter of fact, his sisters are the ones, they would drive me when I was 14. They'd take me to the comedy clubs.
Oh.
And I would get on stage, and like he was on stage at the Catch a Rising Star or whatever the big club was in New York, when he was 14.
Oh.
And her photographs are incredible if you look up Arlene Gottfried. And it's in the news, too, because Gilbert's wife, Dara, is now finally cataloging all of her photographs.
Oh, really?
And they're going to either give them to a museum or sell them.
Oh, cool.
We're not sure which one. The Salt Lake Tribune asks the question, lottery in Utah? Well, maybe. Kira Birkland is the...
You're pretty, Kira.
You're pretty, and she unveiled a bill proposing letting voters decide whether to amend the Utah Constitution to allow the legislature to create a state-run lottery. Birkland said Friday that her goal in proposing the change is to generate revenue that can be used to help alleviate the burden of property taxes, but the chances of the amendment even making it to voters' ballots may be about as likely as buying that lucky lottery ticket. Senate President Stuart Adams said the odds of that getting the two-thirds support it needs in both the House and the Senate to even make it to the ballot is not very high. And if it does make it that far, Senate Majority Leader Evan Vickers said, I would probably bet quite a bit of money in Vegas that it wouldn't pass. But if it did pass and it got on the ballot, what do you think that the Utah voters would say?
For it.
I think they'd be for it, but
yeah,
I don't know if it should be for property taxes, though.
Well, whatever they, that's, I don't know.
If they're going to get rid of the income tax,
they need something.
Income tax goes solely for education. In other states, the lottery money goes for education. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what it is.
A minor 3.5 magnitude earthquake was reported at Springdale near Zion National Park on Friday night. The USGS and the University of Utah seismograph stations said that the quake occurred at a depth of about 11 kilometers, about 1 mile southwest of Springdale. 7:28 p.m. No further aftershocks were reported, and no damage reported, but people did report feeling it. In Ogden, the Ogden Fire Department is warning the public about a popular hot spring area in Ogden Canyon after rescuing 2 people just hours apart this past week. Not only is the department saying the Ogden hot pots are dangerous and scummy, because I've been in them, and I know.
Bill made them scummy. Oh, wait,
No, they were scummy when I went there years ago. But they are also urging people not to trespass on what is technically private property to access the hot springs. According to the Weber County Sheriff's Office, 2 different men went unconscious in the Ogden River hot pots on Tuesday. They were described as suffering medical episodes. The officers said that they're looking to see if alcohol was a factor.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm sure
if
it was.
If they were down there.
There's no investigation needed. Ogden Fire Deputy Chief Mike Slater explained that the trail was too icy and steep to carry the men out. Instead, they shut down traffic and for the entire canyon so they could set up a rescue. It's tough to get to them. They're kind of, as I recall, kind of up behind Rainbow Gardens, and you have to go on this little trail to get to them. And people continually will build up walls to capture the water, and then periodically people will go up there and tear it all out, and then they build them up again. That trail is so treacherous, and my sister knows that very well, too, because she slipped on it and broke her neck.
Ah, she broke her neck?
She did.
Was alcohol involved? Oh, wait.
It's Ogden, Gina. Yes. And it's my family.
There's always alcohol involved.
After months of talks, 3 senators yesterday unveiled a $118 billion bipartisan bill to address U.S. border security.
Great, let's do
and
that.
provide additional aid for Ukraine and Israel. The bill would mandate President Biden to shut down the border once the number of immigrants approaching it hits a specific threshold. It also speeds up the process for asylum seekers and gives work permits to those who gain entry. House Speaker Mike Johnson declared the bill dead on arrival. Mike Johnson is the guy who, when reporters ask him a question, does this. He always has his cell phone in his hand, and he goes, "No, I'm sorry, I'm on a call." He does that constantly.
I'm very important.
I'm on a call. I can't take your questions right now.
I'm speaking to Trump.
What an ass. Let's see. The government of Canada is extending a ban on foreign home purchasing. The federal government
I know,
is extending.
we've tried.
Yeah. This is because
seriously,
this is because too many people are moving to Canada.
Yeah. You have to have a job there. You have to. You can't just buy a house there.
The federal government is extending their ban. The rule was first announced in 2022. It will now be extended until the beginning of 2027. It bans foreign nationals and commercial enterprises from buying residential property in Canada, with exceptions for some international students, refugee claimants, and temporary workers. By extending the ban, we will ensure houses are used as homes for Canadian families to live in, and we'll kind of keep the Americans out. Experts have questioned
I want
whether
options. Canada needs to be an option.
Yes.
Well, you can go there and rent. Let's see. Indian police have cleared a suspected Chinese spy after 8 months of detention. The spy was a pigeon.
Yes.
And they released the pigeon into the wild Tuesday.
Tell us what you know.
Don't let the pigeon spy for China. The pigeon's ordeal began in May when it was captured near a port in Mumbai with 2 rings tied to its legs, carrying words that looked like Chinese. Police suspected it was involved in espionage and took it in, later sending it to Mumbai's animal hospital. Eventually, it turned out the pigeon was an open-water racing bird from Taiwan that had escaped and made its way to India. And that's
what he wants you to think. That's his cover.
Yeah, this is amazing. Luxury car enthusiasts are abuzz over the remarkable discovery of 16 Ferraris and 6 Porsches inside of an old warehouse in Belgium. The owner of the warehouse found the 22 high-end vehicles and contacted a car collection organization to have the cars evaluated. It was a load of highly rare Ferraris and Porsches. All of the cars were wrapped in car covers and appeared to be in fantastic shape. Among the treasure trove, a large number of Ferrari Testarosas. Testarosas were produced between 1984 and 1996, with used models selling online for as much as $180,000. The Porsche 911 cars were spotted. Some of them, they were like new, and they were from the 60s and 70s.
Wow.
You know why they call it a Testarossa? It means redhead, Testarossa.
Oh, okay.
And they call it, when you open up the engine block is red.
Oh, okay.
So it's the redhead.
You got a fast car. Gina, weather, traffic.
Rain and rain and rain and rain, and then snow. 70% chance of rain today, 49 for a high, 54 tomorrow. Snow looks like it's possible Thursday. We finally get cold enough overnight for that rain to change over to snow, but it is a wet period we have here. Traffic, I've got no accidents to tell you about. Let me check our message stream, see if friends of the program are alerting us. Somebody says it's snowing in Morgan County, FYI. Thank you for that. If you see something, you can say something via text at 33986. Become a nurse in just 32 months at Nightingale College, blending online classes with on-ground supervised field experience. Virtual college, actual nursing. Start your nursing journey at nightingale.edu. Now accepting enrollment for spring semester.
Here's boner candidate number 3. The border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good and evil. Quemada, Texas. I think it's how you say it. Quemado?
don't know.
Hundreds of protesters from around the U.S. Flocked to the Texas border town on Saturday to vent over illegal immigration and show support for former President Trump at a rally that blended border politics with religious rhetoric.
Yep.
At the rally in this town in Texas, vendors sold shirts, flags, hats, promoting the Republican former president, while conservative speakers touted conservative Christian values and criticized the border policies of President Biden. Folks, this is serious stuff. This is evil stuff, said U.S. Representative Keith Self of Biden's policies. We're in a spiritual battle for the survival of our republic. Keith Self, you'll remember from last week, I mentioned him. He was the congressman who represents Allen, Texas, where that shooting in the ball was, and faced criticism after denouncing people who say more than prayer is needed to combat gun violence. Remember, he was asked a question about people who said prayer has not prevented mass shootings, and he said, those are people that don't believe in Almighty God, who is in absolute control of our lives. I'm a Christian. I believe that God is in control.
I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me.
I wanted to kill people and you gave me an AR-15.
No, but it's not in the Bible.
Oh,
there were baptisms going on.
Yeah, that's the part that really was disturbing.
Take our border back.
If you are a Christian, if you believe the Bible, there is passage after passage after passage in the Bible about how you're supposed to treat people like that are coming to the border asking for asylum and help. And the Bible's very clear on this.
And the Bible is very clear on what's good and what's evil. And you know what's good is a white Christian, and what's evil is a Mexican trying to get across the border.
It's nowhere in there.
It's in there somewhere.
No.
It's a big book.
It's a big book.
It's Boner candidate number 3. The border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good versus evil.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
It's an administrative problem.
Yes.
That's all it is.
That is.
If it were easier to come here legally, they would do that.
Yes.
Boner candidate number 1. Authorities predicted he'd be back, just not that soon. A Springfield, Illinois man back in bars behind bars after 15 minutes of being released. Back again. Boner candidate number 2. People, you got to be more careful with your drugs. A man in Australia accidentally handing cops his drugs along with his driver's license, and a guy in some other Tennessee pulling drugs out of his rectum. Right in front of the cops. Oh, I got drugs in my bum.
Right
they're in my bum. I got to get
that for you.
And Boner candidate number 3. The border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good and evil.
All right. Let's get to voting. It's Boner of the Day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Pretty easy to do that. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth. She'll take your live voice vote at 877-602-9696. Or you can go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, February 5, 2024. Click and vote. And if you don't see that box, refresh your internet browser. It'll appear. You can click and vote then. You've only got 3 minutes to get your vote in for Boner of the Day, though. So let's go. All right. Look, ranlife.com/x96.
Yeah, and that's go to that website, ranlife.com/x96, and find out about qualifying for a home loan with an incredible 3.75% interest rate. That's RanLife's 3-in-1 ARM, adjustable rate mortgage. RanLife's 3-in-1 ARM is your golden ticket to unlocking affordability on the home you've always dreamed of. With this 3.75% interest rate, you can qualify for a larger loan amount. You can get a lower mortgage payment, and you can turn your dream into an address. RanLife has some of the best loan pricing and loan officers in the game. I've worked with them for a long time, and they are great. And they are ready to guide you through the mortgage process today. Reach out and learn by visiting ranlife.com/x96. Their experts will be there to answer any questions you have. On approval of credit, restrictions do apply. 3.75% interest rate APR is 6.97%. Turn your dream into an address today at RanLife. Couple of animal things that I mentioned that briefly, that sugar glider.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to @RFHBill
and on Twitter. There's a little video there, and I don't remember where I think I stumbled across it on Twitter. But sugar gliders are little tiny. They look like sort of like squirrels.
Monkeys.
Yeah, kind of monkeys. They have opposable thumbs, and they're very small.
Also, they're like people.
They're very small, and they call them sugar gliders because A, they love sugar, and B, they can glide through the air. They jump off of things and they spread out they have this kind of flaps between their legs, and like a flying squirrel. But this sugar glider is so cute because he's up on a little a stick, and there's a human down below whose hand is you can just see the human holding out a hand. And the sugar glider moves along the poles, spots the hand. It's obviously something that they've trained him to do. And he launches off the stick and lands on this person's hand. But the way, Rocky the Flying Squirrel, the way he lands on the person's hand is so cool because his little hands grasp onto the person's thumb, and as he hits, his eyes kind of close and then open up. Yeah, it's like I made it.
Well,
it's just the coolest looking
I
thing.
found 10 reasons why sugar gliders are not good pets.
I'll bet.
Okay, but find that little video. That's what you should do, rather than I'm not going to get a sugar glider.
I'm just trying to dissuade you. 'Cause
I'm not
you
going to
seemed
get
enamored of the sugar
No,
glider.
I'm enamored of the video, not the sugar glider.
They require specialized care.
Yeah. You should have you have to have two of them as well because they're very social.
Most people can't offer enough space. You think, well, they're small little things.
They get depressed if they're alone.
Yep. Vets find it hard to treat them.
I'll bet.
There are some legal issues with owning them.
Yeah.
They're expensive to purchase and care for.
They are also, I've read all of that, they are also very affectionate, though. I mean, if people who have them, they're very affectionate with the people that have them.
They're prone to injury and disease if they're not properly cared for. You can't leave them with someone else.
Because
they bond with you.
Oh, well, then forget it.
Yeah.
Also, and this is the worst one
It's
for me.
a commitment.
They're messy and smelly. So that's
what Lindsay in the chat room is saying. We had sugar gliders, not the best pets.
And then the other animal video I saw, you guys might have seen this today, the beluga whale. Did you see this?
Did not.
And apparently, it says, a beluga whale interacts with children. He's a scamp.
Well, what did he do?
This beluga whale, he's in the tank at the aquarium.
Yeah.
And he'll swim up, and the kids will be standing there looking in, and he'll swim up and look at him, and then he flips his tail so the water comes flying out over the top of the tank and drenches the kids. And it's gotten to the point where the kids know that this is going to happen.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And they go stand there on purpose.
Yeah. And and the whale is obviously just so pleased with himself doing it.
He's a prankster.
Yeah. He's obviously having a great time doing it. And
Katie just retweeted that on our Radio from Hell Twitter.
The beluga whale?
No, the sugar gliders.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch him fly onto that person's hand.
All right, 7:49. Time to award boner of the day.
Yes, indeed, and it is brought to you in part by Fish Tacos.
And Gracie's open daily for lunch and dinner, now serving brunch Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays till 3 p.m. Watch the 49ers battle the Chiefs in the big game on television Sunday, February 11th at Gracie's. You must be 21 or older to enter.
Well, the first two boner candidates, they just didn't really do anything. 5 votes for number one.
They were good. I mean,
they were
yeah,
bad, stupid.
Any other day.
Stupid and funny human behavior. But boner candidate number 3 with 203 votes, the border isn't about immigration. It's about, good versus evil.
It's your boner of the day for today, February 5, 2024. Now qualified to be boner of the week.
We have a giveaway.
Yes.
Oh,
Valentine's giveaway. X96 has your Valentine's shopping covered. We know you forgot. I mean, maybe it's planning time. Listen all week to win a different Valentine's prize every day. Today's prize is a 4-pack of tickets to the Living Planet Aquarium. Plus, visit x96.com and enter to win our Valentine's grand prize. It's one of each daily prize. So you should do both of those things. Celebrate Valentine's with Living Planet Aquarium at Sips Under the Sea. It's a 21 and older event with entertainment and after-hours access to the aquarium. All February 10th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can buy tickets at livingplanetaquarium.org, or you can try to win them right now. Text the word planet, P-L-A-N-E-T, planet, to 33986 now to enter to win.
So you were gone.
Yes.
Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
And you were worried about the weather, and you were going to come work here until 8 on Thursday.
Well, there was a National Weather Service alert that said winter driving conditions allow extra time. So I thought, okay, I will do that, because it was just me and Mohammed, my son, not the prophet.
Yeah, it was. So that was on Wednesday. That alert came out, I think, or Wednesday night, and then Thursday, if you looked at the forecast, it wasn't going to do it.
I go with what the National Weather Service said, and there's that pass as you're coming out of Cedar City where you go up before you go down. It was raining like hell up there, and the windshield wipers going so fast, it still doesn't clear.
There's always potential for flooding in that area, too.
So it was bad through there. And went down into St. George to the soccer tournament. Now, my mom, the Sainted Mary Claire, and Daddy Gary, they have a casita in St. George.
A casita?
Yes.
They're snowbirds, you know.
They are. All of their friends have casitas.
We call them casitas because we're pretentious.
It's just a little
condo.
It's just a little house.
Okay. All right. Casita.
And it's in a retirement community where they have a wine club. They have a book club. They have a hiking club. It's a retirement community.
Okay.
And I had that experience that Jerry Seinfeld had in that episode.
It's a casita. Shouldn't it be a retirement village?
That experience that Jerry Seinfeld had when he went to visit his parents at their retirement community in Florida.
Yes.
My parents keep the casita really hot.
Even when they're not there?
Well, no, just specifically at nighttime, at sleeping time.
It's too hot to sleep.
It's too hot to sleep. And Mohammed and I are in the guest room together. Now, if I were home in my bedroom by myself, I would take off as many clothes as I need to get comfortable in a hot room. I can't do that when I'm sharing a room with my teenage son.
You're afraid to be in a state of undress in front of your own son?
He's a teenage boy. I'm not going to do that.
He's probably seen somebody in their underwear before.
It's not appropriate. It's not
So
appropriate.
did you open the window? Or is this place so small that it doesn't have a window?
They're nailed shut.
And it's a small house. And
is it detached? It's not in.
It's its own house.
Okay,
yeah. And the air vents are in the ceiling, which are like 15 feet.
Oh. This is sounding less and less like a casita to
You
me.
can't even reach
15-foot tall ceilings.
It's to make it feel bigger because it's small. They have high.
Harry, it is made of mud, however.
Okay.
So that's a minor complaint. It was nice that we could stay there. It was cheaper than staying in a hotel.
How much did they charge you?
Not anything.
Well, then it's not appropriate to say it's cheaper than a hotel.
And we would go out to eat, and Daddy Gary would go to pay the bill.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no, let me pay for this. And he'd be like, no, let me pay for it. And I turned to Mohammed, and I said, Mohammed, when you are 54 years old, I expect you to buy me dinner once in a while. you're not a child anymore when you're 50. Like my parents still act like I'm a kid where they pay for dinner. No, I am a grown-ass person. Let me buy you dinner.
Here's my rule when that kind of thing occurs, whether it's with family or just somebody else. And I say, I'll get this. And if they say, no, let me get it. And I say, no. And then if the person says, no, I mean it, I'll get it. Okay, that's fine. One refusal, that's all. I'd never argue about that kind of stuff.
I just feel like, God bless them. They're sweet and want to pay for it. I'm like, no, you have reached a point in your life where I'm not it's not like I'm in college. It's not like I am 54 years
You are
old.
denying them. You are denying them the pleasure of buying you dinner.
They buy everybody dinner all the time. What about the pleasure for me buying them? You have given so much to us. Please let us now, as a grown adult children, pay for your
Whenever
dinner.
I went places with my mother like that, I always assumed that she would pay for it.
No matter how old you were.
Absolutely.
Let them spend your inheritance.
Yeah.
All right?
I just think someone should do something nice for them once in a while.
Daddy, don't buy me dinner. Put that in a savings account for me.
Save it for later.
Buy me a bond, a treasury bond.
But the games, it was a nightmare because it just torrentially rained the whole time we were. And they don't call soccer for rain. The only thing they call it for is for lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you go to x96.com/live, you can see Mohammed's team there.
Yeah, they're all wet.
It was soaking wet. And the fields all flooded. There were poor kids that had to play games at 11 o'clock at night because they had to move games to fields that hadn't been flooded. They had to wait.
I don't see a winner on that team.
But so after,
how did they do?
So they lost 2, but the one game that they won, they beat the number 1 seed. So we figure it all works out. That's what we're going with.
They didn't get a trophy.
They didn't get a trophy, but in lieu of a trophy, because Mohammed played very well, I told him I would buy him a souvenir for the trip. I said, "What would you like?" And he said,
An autograph of Samuel Jackson?
No, that's a different kid. He said, "I would like
Space pen."
No, space. That would
Keep the pens!
He said, for some reason, he was craving RC Cola.
Oh, really?
And he said, "Can I get some RC Cola?"
Wait a minute. Nobody craves RC.
He was craving RC Cola. So if you go to x96.com/live.
Oh, my God.
So we go to the grocery store. I said, "All right, I'll buy you
I
some."
didn't even know you could still get
Yeah.
RC.
I said, he Googled RC Cola near me and found it.
Well, now I'm kind of craving.
I know. And so we get to the store, and he grabs a shopping cart. I said, "I am not getting a shopping cart full of RC Cola." He said, "Can I have as many as I can carry?" And I said, "Yes."
Well, he knows how to bargain, doesn't he?
You can have as many RC Colas.
He was
as
just
you-
using that shopping cart as a threat.
Yeah. So he got 3.
That's hilarious.
The only
12
time,
packs of RC
the only time you would ever have an RC Cola is if you had a moon pie. You
RC Colas are good.
You have yourself an RC Coca-Cola and a moon pie.
I was happy that's what he wanted.
And down in the South, they say RC Coca-Cola.
Well, Burge in the chat room insists that you have a sign made for your mom to hang up in her place that says Del Boca Casita.
I will have one made.
Don't tell her why.
No.
Just stay here.
Traffic's good except for the 201 coming out of Magna eastbound. Looks like there's some slowage there, but you not reporting anything other than that. What are you reporting? You can text us 33986.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after these with Bill Frost telling us what's on TV this week. Stand by for that. Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPES Vision.com.
Yes, our good friends at Hoops Vision. They are, first of all, they're just terrific people. My sister-in-law went to Hoops Vision. She had an experience at another place.
Oh.
And she said, I think I'm going to get a second opinion, and went to Hoops, and they said, hold off on getting this the LASIK surgery because you've got a cataract that we should watch.
Ah.
The other place was just
The
we
other
can
place
just do
was
it.
just going to dive right in.
Yeah, and
oh, okay.
So that's Hoops Vision for you.
Exactly.
And right now, if you've been holding off on LASIK surgery, you should not hold off any longer because they're having a sale, $1,200 off the procedure. And that's good through the 29th of this month. $1,200 off. Hoops Vision puts the most advanced technology in the hands of the most experienced and ethical surgeons in the town. Hoops also offers a range of financing operations. So make your appointment now, 877-30-LASIK, or book online at hoopsvision.com. Hi.
You got a text, Dawn.
I'll bet.
If Dawn's still around.
Oh, yeah. Hello, this is Don. Hi, this is Don Criddle of Mayor Mona.
A friend of the program says, Mayor Mona, I just wanted to let you know I drove by Mona last weekend. I was on I-15 and I saw a sign that said Mona, but never saw another one. So it's the Mona, Utah, so why not sign? It's not. We got to get that up.
Well, sir, or a young woman, as the case may be. We are raising money. The JCs are raising money for the Mona, Utah, so why not sign?
We had the one that I made, Daddy, but somebody stole it.
Well, Denver, we couldn't put up a sign that was done in crayon.
Well, that's all I had at the time. I got my wood burner now, though.
Well, Denver, we're going to get a professional done sign. There's a professional sign maker over there in Nephi.
Listen, I swear, if I could just learn to use my wood burning set without burning my hands, I could make a sign that says, "So why not?" Here's the other thing, Daddy, is that the kids in Mona don't seem to think that slogan is very good.
Well, I don't care. They're young'uns.
They think it's ironic or something like that. They don't.
Denver, I don't think you know what the word ironic means.
I'm just telling you what I hear them say.
Denver!
When we're out
Denver!
behind the shed learning to smoke. I mean, ski.
You're a real good skier, too, I understand.
I'm an excellent skier. I can ski in rings. I can do rings when I ski.
I hear you can French curl ski, too.
Sure. I think that's what it is.
Well, at any rate.
Is that the one with the tongue?
We're working on the sign. And
Okay.
pretty soon we'll have one right. There is no exit for Mona, though, you know. There's just a sign. There's no freeway exit.
No?
No. You have, which
How do
is
you
what
know when
makes
you're
us.
in Mona?
Well, it's. Oh, you know.
Oh, you know.
Now, but there's no freeway exit. You get off on the freeway at Nephi, and then you take the only way you could get into Mona is on the back road. It's only on the back road. That's all.
That's why I never leave Mona, Daddy. I get lost.
Well, you're not the only one, Denver. Not the only one who gets lost.
That one time I was lost for a whole 6 hours, and I was scared.
Well, no, luckily the nice folks at the Safari Motel found you and returned you to Mona.
They covered me in one of them silver space blankets. They said I was.
warm.
They said I was in shock, Daddy.
Kept you warm, didn't it?
It did.
They're nice folks over there to the Safari Motel.
Why is it that whenever people in shock, that's the blankets that people seem to have? I don't understand.
It's
that.
a shock blanket, Denver.
Okay.
Most good people have one in their trunk.
We need some.
I got one in the trunk.
I might go into shock right now.
I'm going to put you in shock if you don't cut it out.
I need a ski.
You want shock? I'll give you shock, young man. I'll
be back.
shock you good.
I'll be back later. I'm going to go ski right now.
Go have a ski, why don't you,
I'm going to
Denver?
have a ski.
I know what you're talking about.
A leisurely slalom is what I'm going to do.
You leave the house and I know you ski. I can smell the ski on you when you come back.
That's Aqua Velva, Daddy.
Aqua Velva and ski.
It covers up the ski smell. That's
No,
what
it
I'm
don't.
saying.
You think it does, but it don't.
Maybe I better try Elsia then. All right.
986.
Yeah, like Celine did from Roy. She's from the French part of Roy. There's a French
sector.
There's a French sector.
Yeah, the French sector.
In Roy.
Yeah, it's over there by where Lou Monaco's used to be. Behind the burger bar.
Yeah, it's the French sector.
In Roy.
Yeah.
All right. Bill Frost, brought to you by our subpar TV and slow internet ruining your life. The experts at CableTV.com have reviewed all the best cable, satellite streaming, and internet services. Get a better hookup at CableTV.com today.
Bill Frost is here. He is a writer. You can read his stuff at City Weekly. He is a podcaster, the TV Tan podcast, and he's a musician, mainly with Magda Vega, but you're doing something with our old friend Dan Morley right now, right?
Yeah, Saturday night. It's a Slug Magazine anniversary thing where they have like 35 bands play one song apiece. I know. And so I'm playing with Reverend Morley. Mm-hmm. And we'll be doing one very weird song.
A song that he wrote?
Oh, yeah.
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 Dan would be weird, yeah.
Yeah.
And where can we find Bill Frost's stuff?
BillFrost.tv.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You always need some more true crime in your life.
Sure.
Tuesday, tomorrow, on Paramount Plus, Cyber Sleuths, the Idaho Murders. This is about in 2022, the Moscow, Idaho University of Idaho murders off campus. And the story about how a bunch of amateur internet detectives
got it wrong.
Kind of got it wrong.
They got it wrong.
Yeah.
But I have one coming up here where they got it right. So it kind of balances out.
This is the one where they got it wrong, though.
Yeah. And on Wednesday, Abbott Elementary is back.
Yay!
After winning, it's pretty much the only broadcast show that even gets nominated for awards anymore.
Isn't that right? Yeah.
So it's back on Wednesday. Also, The Connors and one of my new favorites, Not Dead Yet, with Gina Rodriguez, is also back on.
Oh, it's back?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like that show.
On ABC and Hulu.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this one in here just for the title. On Thursday on Peacock, Couple to Thruple.
I can't.
That's all you need to know.
I can't.
Yeah.
That's on Peacock if you're
Nope.
even remotely interested in that.
From couple to thruple.
Yep. Also, the second season of the Halo series on Paramount Plus kind of got mixed reviews when it came out.
Yeah.
And so it's back for another round. It's got the guy from Orange is the New Black, Pablo Schreiber.
Oh, okay.
Hornstash.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's related to Tom Cruise. Who's he related to?
His brother is.
Well, it's Liev.
Yeah.
Oh, Liev, yes. Here's the true crime doc where they got it right. They called him Mostly Harmless. It's on Max.
I bet he wasn't.
It's
Mostly.
about a guy who was found, an unidentified hiker who was found dead in Florida's Cypress National Preserve. No ID, no missing persons report, nothing. He was a complete mystery. Then the internet went to work, and they solved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's on Max
I'll
on
watch that.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Also, the from Michael Mann.
This is such a good show.
The second season of Tokyo Vice on Max.
The first season was great.
Yeah.
And I understand this season is even better.
I've seen a little bit of it, yeah. Ansel Elgort and Ken Watanabe are in this.
They're both just terrific. Ansel Elgort learned to speak Japanese to do this.
Wow. Yeah. That's on Thursday on Max. 2 episodes on Friday. More true crime just in time for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Lover, Stalker, Killer on Netflix.
Wow, that sounds...
It's about a guy who started dating women. They met online. They eventually stopped seeing each other. He started seeing another woman. Things are going great. And then that woman disappears completely.
Ah.
And, yeah.
Hence the killer part.
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy with the beard, is that him?
Yes.
He looks really familiar.
Yeah, he was just an Omaha mechanic. So there's your Valentine's Day viewing.
Love stories.
Love stories, yes.
Romantic.
And, of course, here's a rom-com on Prime Video on Friday, Upgraded, starring Camila Mendez from Riverdale. It's about a woman. This is the reason to watch this, if you're interested at all. Marissa Tomei is her boss.
All right.
Is set in the art world. Marissa Tomei is doing her damnedest Devil Wears Prada cosplay.
Okay.
Oh. So
Yeah.
She could be good at that.
Okay. Yeah, I can buy that. Sure.
Camila Mendez is mistaken for her and starts falling for this dude who thinks she is Marissa Tomei's character.
Okay.
And wackiness ensues.
All right.
Of course, on Sunday, it's the PSYOP Bowl 58. Wherein Travis and Taylor were going to coronate Joe Biden as
that's happening.
As the president for life at the behest of our lizard overlords at the Pentagon.
Yep.
And then Usher's in there somewhere.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that.
You have any idea who's doing all some of the pre-show music?
Post Malone, Reba McEntire.
Oh, yeah. Somebody says Post Malone has lost a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm. He has.
Yeah.
Did his tattoos slide off?
No, they're just all saggy and weird now.
Droopy.
And also, after the Super Bowl, the premiere of a new CBS series, Tracker.
It looks dumb.
Of course it does. It's a CBS crime drama.
It looks,
Why does it look dumb? I
don't know. It just looks.
This is starring Justin Hartley from This Is Us. He's an expert survivalist and tracker.
Okay.
And he travels the countryside helping people and the police. And
he's one of these plain-looking actors that
average white dude.
Yeah, he's just not interesting.
So it's like Rambo.
Yeah.
And the Incredible Hulk kind of
plot.
But that would be interesting.
That would be hilarious if he ended every episode walking off into the highway with the sad piano music.
Well, I'm looking at the trailer that you put on our website, x96.com, and he looks like he's very sincere.
Oh, yeah. He's just trying to help people.
It's just, it looks bland to me. It looks.
Also, the premiere on TBS of Stupid Pet Tricks that's Sarah Silverman is hosting.
Really?
It's basically David Letterman is involved with this, and he'll actually appear on the series at some point, maybe in the first episode, where it's just that old bit just expanded to half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was always amusing.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, TBS canceled Chad for that, so good for them.
Yeah.
And if you don't care at all about the Super Bowl, True Detective Night Country and Curb Your Enthusiasm will have new episodes.
Okay.
The Woman in the Wall on Showtime, new episodes. Monsieur Spade with Clive Owen on AMC. And the series I've been following on PBS called Funny Woman, which is pretty interesting. It's basically a British Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. And I have one you should check out. You should watch Harder here. It's on A&E if you get that. It's we're about 4 episodes in. Tonight will be 5. Secrets of Polygamy on A&E. Lots of local flavor in that.
Okay.
They started off with
Sister
Warren
Wives?
Jeffs.
Oh.
They started covered, and then they moved on to the Kingstons. That's when it really got real. And the host of this show, he has a bit of a throwdown with Mark Shurtleff, saying, why didn't you do anything when you had him? You had him in your sights.
Yeah.
And he's it's pretty heated exchange.
That's always been the big question.
Yeah.
We know it's illegal here in the state.
Yeah.
Why aren't you prosecuting?
Yeah, they pointed out that the Warren Jeffs group is kind of broke and janky, whereas the Kingstons is $1 billion operation, and it's a pretty well done series. Yeah. It's on A&E. Secrets of Polygamy. And I don't know if anyone start the Mr. and Mrs. Smith series?
No, I heard it's okay.
Liking it.
Yeah?
Liking it, yeah. I'm glad they cast Maya Erskine because I cannot see Phoebe Waller-Bridge in that role at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to give it a try.
It's worth checking out.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill Frost.
Thanks.
All right. Bill Frost. You can find all of his stuff at billfrost.tv.
All right. Thank you. Traffic.
Pretty nasty slowage eastbound I-80 about a mile east of Magna. It says the left lane is closed there, but it's pretty slow going from Lake Point all the way up into Magna. So the good news is that's the only thing I'm seeing, unless you see something that's bad news. You can text me that bad news, 33986. Knives. NAFS wants their pocket knives in your pocket. Visit their store in Clearfield where they offer knife sharpening and engraving, or visit them at nafs.com/X96 to see products. You can use the code X96 for 20% off. That's NAFS, KNAFS.com/X96.
All right, we got some messages and a song. And after that, it's Beat Gina. Yes, your chance to play pop culture trivia against Gina Barberi. If you beat Gina, you will win
Tickets to see Oliver Tree February 7th at the Great Saltaire.
People want to go to that Oliver Tree show, so get your tickets at 877-602-9696. If you play, you will win. Pretty damn sure. 877-602-9696. UtahAdvocates.com.
Yes, if you're in an accident, that's who you want to contact, the advocates. You go to UtahAdvocates.com, and you can chat with them online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Free.
Yeah, free. You never pay them any money out of pocket. They only take a little portion of the settlement that they will get.
And you're not suing the little old lady that hit you.
No.
You can't look at it like that. You're that little old lady has insurance, and her insurance company, it's their responsibility to help you pay for your medical
and your insurance company as well needs to step up, and sometimes they don't.
So if you've been hurt in an accident and you're just not sure what you should do, we'll tell you what. You go contact the advocates. 801-355-5550 or UtahAdvocates.com. Remember, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're a kind of a small boutique firm, just a few lawyers, and they really have your best interests at heart. So go to their website, UtahAdvocates.com.
So how strong was the odor?
So I got out of my car here at the Broadway Media Tower this morning. Today. And there's not that many cars down there.
No.
Except Carrie's car is there. And I opened my door and I instantly smelled skunk.
Mm.
Now, I don't think there was a skunk in the parking garage.
Is there a skunk in your car, Carrie?
But I instantly thought, and I asked as I walked in the studio, I said, Carrie, did you hit a skunk on the way to work? And you said...
I said, no, that answers my question. I didn't hit a skunk.
You didn't hit him?
No. What?
What?
Come in, Katie, I can't.
You can't.
Yeah, you're bad at pantomime.
So you didn't hit a skunk?
I did not hit a skunk. But here's the thing. Yes, Katie.
Are you talking about on the freeway?
It may be. We come in the
Because
same...
it's on my car, too.
Really?
What happened?
I think somebody hit a skunk on the freeway on our off ramp that you and I normally take, the ninth South off ramp. I think somebody hit a skunk on there because I think I ran over the dead carcass, and now the side of my car smells like skunk, and it covered the entire inside of my car. With the smell.
You both ran over it or were near it?
I didn't run over anything. See, what happened was I was taking that route. I smelled the skunk. And I'm like, oh, somebody must have hit a skunk, and that's what I'm smelling.
Yeah.
And then as I proceeded into town, it didn't go away. I thought, well, it's just still circulating in my car.
It was on
and
your
then
car.
then I get out, and I'm like, I can still smell it. It must be stuck in my nose, is what I'm thinking.
Literally, I've been dealing with my nose inside the studio. It's because of that.
Because I still feel like I smell it.
Exactly, me too.
When I was at Bear Lake one time, driving, and a skunk ran right in front of my car, and I ran over it. I killed it. And my car just reeked of skunk. But it goes away pretty fast. You park it outside. Yeah, it should be parked outside now, you know.
Well, it's in the garage.
But it went away pretty, I think it, within a day it went away. But.
It must have been freshly hit.
This says a skunk smell can last on a car for 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh.
Well, it didn't on mine. I wouldn't have been able to stand it.
How do you clean skunk off a car? Here you go. This is for both of you.
How do you clean skunk off a car?
We're going to need this.
Tomato juice, right?
Nope.
Oh.
Distilled vinegar and water, equal parts.
Okay.
And dishwashing liquid.
I have
all mixed together?
All mixed together. Liberally spray the exterior of your car. Pay special attention to the undercarriage and the tires.
That's where it...
Great.
Leave it on for 5 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. Repeat if necessary.
What if I take it to one of these fancy car wash
That's
places?
exactly my thought, too.
I think that'll...
And I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Skunk, what can you
That'll
do?
do it.
Help.
Maybe they have something.
Just run it through that. It'll do it.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up this morning when I came in, and I totally spaced it. But even Vax was like pawing at his nose in the car, and I felt so bad because it must have been super freshly hit.
Probably.
If there
was a cloud of it in the air
sticking that well to
yeah.
your car and to mine.
But I'm sure it didn't stay on my car all that long, and I ran over it.
You ran yours over.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, see, I think I just passed through, or...
Isn't that interesting that it can be that you didn't hit it, just passing through a cloud of it would carry it all the way.
And it may have been some of the, because when they get hit, they get squashed.
And it spreads.
And the sack spreads, and so the sack probably spread it all over the road.
That's what I'm thinking,
and
too.
I'm betting that's what happened.
Now, you guys are all concerned about your damn cars. Could we just have a moment, please, for the poor skunk?
Hey, I think skunks are pretty cute. I would own one if I didn't have to deal with the smell. And I know you can get it removed, but my husband won't allow me to do that as much as I would love to.
I don't blame him.
They're cute. They're really cute, I think.
Cement Dave says, I've made first contact with both skunks and raccoons. The raccoon smell lingered longer than the skunk. But you know what the worst stink that I've ever experienced was? It was during the summer. It was when we lived in Draper. And my car hit a bird I didn't know, and the bird got wedged into the grill.
Oh man.
And then I parked the car over the weekend, and it was hot. No. It was summertime. And then I go out there Monday, and it's like, and I couldn't find it. And it was coming in through the vents and everything.
What did you do?
So I had to, sit down and look and dig and take the thing apart, and sure enough, there it was.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that dealt with this smell this morning, because it's bad.
Okay, well, that answers my question. No, I didn't hit a skunk. I just kind of passed through.
You must have passed through it right after it was hit, because even mine smells terrible, and I could hear back.
Now, when people, would get sprayed with skunk, the old cure for that or remedy for that was you're supposed to take a bath in tomato juice.
I remember that.
But I think that's bunk. But that's what...
Is that one of those old wives' tales?
I think so.
They did it on Seinfeld.
They did?
Well, it must be true.
Then it must be a lie.
Seinfeld doesn't lie.
Yes, they do. All the time. It's quite amazing what they...
It's such a strong smell.
Yeah, and they're, raccoons stink, and I knew people who've had pet ferrets. They don't. I mean, they don't have a spray, but they smell gamey.
If you don't take care of the ferrets, they do smell. I used to have 2 of them when I was a kid.
Well, didn't they always have that kind of smell?
Not if you take care of them.
When you say take care of them, what is that?
You bathe them on a regular basis, like normal. You actually clean out their cage properly.
How do you bathe a ferret?
You put them in a bathtub.
They like it?
They love it.
Oh, they're okay.
At least my ferrets absolutely loved playing in the water. You put a couple toys in there. There's ferret shampoo. You can wiggle them all
ferret
around.
Shampoo, yes, there is ferret. Yeah. There's a picture of a ferret on the label. That's how you know.
I loved my ferrets. They were cute.
I've been around them a couple of times. They were the ones I've been around were actually very friendly.
They're super sweet. My buddy used to have one, and he had like those little tunnels that would go like underneath his couch and stuff. And
creepy,
they'd get playtime, and I love
They're
ferrets.
weasels,
They're part of the weasel family.
I grew up in a small town, and Salem was much smaller than it is now. And I remember everybody in town remembers when the Coles decided that they were going to become mink farmers. Oh, yes! Finally, after about a year and a half, everybody said, "Really, you gotta get rid of that."
Yeah, no, that's...
depending on the wind, the direction it was blowing. Oh man!
And you don't want to have any fresh eggs around if you have ferrets.
Exactly.
They'll suck your eggs.
They will.
Egg suckers. That's
egg suckers.
I'm allergic to the eggs, so it's good. We're fine.
Skunks are egg suckers too. In 1991, Material Issue released their debut studio album, International Pop Overthrow.
We had a show with them.
Yes.
And I can't remember the name of the place, but it was an old church that turned into a venue. I'm pointing that direction. Do you remember?
Way?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You don't remember what it was called?
But the album features that song, of course, Valerie Loves Me. A nice little power pop album. Okay. Beat Gina, brought to you by...
Brought to you by, well, our prize. X96 welcomes Oliver Tree February 7th at the Great Saltaire.
Thank you.
Well, you know what else Valerie loves, don't you?
Oh.
It's Beat Gina. Yes, the game show that everybody, including Valerie, loves. I'm burger-loving Beat Gina announcer Johnny O. Big Boy, the Burger Kid, like Little Orphan Annie, hasn't changed much over the past decades, but unlike Annie, he's grown a lot. From one small restaurant in Glendale, California in 1936, Big Boy Family Restaurants have expanded to over 800-plus locations in North America, 16 of which are in Canada, owned and operated by Canadians, with more to come. The original Big Boy Family Restaurant was the first to introduce a double-decker hamburger of high quality with excellent service and spotlessly clean surroundings. And at Big Boy Restaurants, children are really wanted, and we do everything we can to help your children enjoy their dinner out. Come in and help us celebrate our decades of growth with specials like famous sandwich combination platters, complete with salad, golden French fries, and a Pepsi. On Saturday, you can all eat fried chicken. As a matter of fact, it's all you can eat fried chicken. All you can eat fish on Friday, fish fry, and on Sunday, pancakes. All you can eat. Wow. JB's Big Boy Family Restaurants. There's sure to be one near you.
Well.
Or, well.
There used to be one near you.
It's sure thing that there used to be one near you. JB's, Jack Brophy's, as I recall.
Is that it?
Yeah, I believe that's what that was, Jack Brophy.
Sounds about right.
Now, let's introduce our host, shall we? Help us celebrate his hosting. He's been hosting for so many years now. We all know and love him. Kerry Jackson.
Thank you very much, Johnny Ola.
I used to love the Big Boys.
The Big Boy was great. All right, the randomizer has picked a contestant. It looks like it's Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. Are you there?
Hi there.
Hi, Charlotte. All right.
No, I brought a coin, by the way.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay. This is to see if the coin toss app is going to be replaced.
Let's use this smaller one here. Let's say that heads. No. Oh, this is a good. Here we go.
Oh, you brought your challenge coins. That's what these are.
So heads, tails would be the Reaper.
Yes. And heads would be the shield.
Yeah.
All right. Heads or tails, Charlotte? You call it.
Tails.
All right. Coin toss app says heads. Gina Barberi won the toss.
You want to try another coin? I've got an ever.
Charlotte, because she won the toss, Gina goes first. The first question is for her to answer. If she gets it correct, she gets the point. If not, I hope you paid attention because I'll let you steal the point away by asking or by answering the question correctly. We'll go back and forth till one of you has 3 points. All right? It's potpourri today. First question for Gina, Shrek trivia.
Oh, okay.
In Shrek, what is the name of Lord Farquaad's kingdom that Shrek and Donkey travel to?
Okay.
Is it 1, Crocosaurus Cove? Mm-hmm. Is it 2, Duloc? Is it 3, Lidsville? Or 4, Khalood?
It's Duloc.
Duloc is correct.
That's a point for Gina. And now we go to the charming Charlotte.
All right, Charlotte. Pokemon trivia. Team Rocket in the American anime only has outlaw names as a joke. Which of these Team Rocket outlaw names do not exist?
So 3 of them do.
3 of them are real.
One of them doesn't.
1 does not. Okay. These are Team Rocket outlaw names. Is it 1, Butch and Cassidy? Is it 2, Eric and Don Jr.? Is it 3, Jesse and James? Or 4, Annie and Oakley?
Jesse and James?
Oh, you'd like to think that, wouldn't you? No, terribly sorry.
That's Eric and Don Jr.
Eric and Don Jr. is correct. Yes.
Another point for Gina. And Charlotte, I'm afraid Gina controls the question. If she gets this one right, she wins.
All right. Gina, let's go with The Mummy trivia.
Okay.
Now, this is the Brendan Fraser movie, The Mummy. Where was the prison scene shot?
Okay.
Is it 1, entirely at an apartment complex in Marrakesh?
Could be.
Is it 2, IKEA?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 3, The Raft, a specialized submersible prison in the middle of the ocean? Or 4, Newgate Mall.
I'm going to go with the apartment complex in Marrakech.
That is correct.
And
Wow.
Gina wins the game with Charlotte barely even getting a peep out.
Oh, Charlotte, though, you sound like a very nice person, Charlotte.
Really
you sound like someone who would really enjoy tickets to see Oliver Tree February 7th at the Great Salt Air.
How about
I
that,
definitely
Charlotte?
would.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and give them to Charlotte
Okay.
anyway.
All right. Hang on the line, Charlotte, and somebody will tell you what you need to do next. I've got to go. I'm searching for a JB's. Apparently, there's one in Rexburg.
Okay. Head on up. All right. News now brought to you by...
Living with mental illness is challenging. At Therapy Transformed, they offer virtual and in-person counseling for individuals, couples, and groups. For treatment-resistant depression, they offer ketamine-assisted psychotherapy and mindful movement sessions. Visit therapytransformed.com.
The Newgate Mall, one of those answers. Somebody in the chat room, some guy in the chat room says, "You remember when the Newgate Mall had water slides?"
Yeah, I went there.
I remember that. Yeah. Let's see. The reported appearance of former Fox News host Tucker Carlson in the Russian capital, Moscow, has sparked intense speculation over the purpose of the conservative media personality. I even hate saying that.
Well, I was going to say, don't call him a journalist.
No.
He's not that.
His visit to Moscow. Carlson arrived in Moscow on February 1, was spotted attending the Bolshoi Theater in the capital. Questions quickly swirled over why he might have traveled to Moscow and whether he intended to interview Russian President Vladimir Putin during the visit. I think he's there to collaborate. What?
I think he's there to get some more instructions, get some more marching orders.
Collaboration.
Yep.
Democrats and their propagandists in the media are spasming at the prospect of Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin. Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote on social media Twitter yesterday. But Greene's comments on Sunday, Russian-backed state news agency TASS reported that Kremlin press secretary Dmitry Peskov had said in 2023 that the world would have to wait and see whether Putin would speak with Carlson. So maybe that is why he's there. He's trying to interview.
Well, look at all
Vladimir
the good
Putin.
look at all the good work that Tucker does for Viktor Orban. You know?
Yep. And federal prosecutors are now investigating WWE co-founder Vince McMahon over sexual abuse and trafficking allegations, according to multiple publications. The news, first reported Friday by the Wall Street Journal, builds on the sexual misconduct case that began to surround the billionaire in 2022, when the publication first reported McMahon had made payoffs totaling more than $12 million to several accusers when he was CEO. So if you're paying out $12 million to people who are accusing you of stuff, that's more than just to keep it quiet. That's an indication that there's really bad stuff there. The recent report confirmed by NBC and ABC states federal agents executed a search warrant on his phone and delivered him a grand jury subpoena over the summer, requesting any documents related to rape, sex trafficking, sexual assault, commercial sex transportation, and transactions, harassment, or discrimination against current or former employees. And Brandon Flowers says that the Killers are too old to make a synth-inspired album.
No, you're not. Go ahead, Brandon. You can do it.
Brandon admitted that the band had been working on the synth-pop record, but decided to move ahead with a rock and roll record instead. They just weren't enjoying doing it, he said. There is a place in our hearts for this kind of music, but we can't do it. We're going to make rock and roll. The parts of the Legacy Parkway in between Davis and Salt Lake counties had to be closed Saturday night as police investigated a road rage shooting. The Department of Transportation tweeted that the Legacy was closed shortly before 7 p.m. It reopened at about 8 p.m. UDOT traffic cameras showed the police blocking off the highway. Utah Highway Patrol officials said that there was a road rage incident between two vehicles. One vehicle was shot. Nobody was injured, fortunately. The highway was closed to collect evidence, and at least of this writing, nobody has been arrested yet. It's been nearly 4 years since prosecutors charged a Salt Lake City police officer with aggravated assault, accusing him of unnecessarily ordering his dog, his canine, to attack a man during an arrest. You remember this story? Mm-hmm. With his freedom and law enforcement career on the line, the case loomed over Nicholas Pierce. It also deepened the long-standing rift and distrust between police and Salt Lake District Attorney Sim Gill. But after all that time, a jury needed just an hour to make their decision. Not guilty. It was the first time a K-9 officer had gone to trial in a use-of-force case, at least since Gill had become district attorney 14 years ago. The district attorney has brought charges against officers in other police shooting cases, but none have ever gone to a jury. This is the first time.
Oh.
Nathan Evershed, Pierce's defense attorney, said Friday that the quick verdict, he felt the prosecution was political and that this charge was just another in a line of cases that Sim Gill has filed and couldn't get a conviction on. Evershed was a former prosecutor in Sim Gill's office and unsuccessfully ran against him for district attorney in 2018. Let's see if there's a comment from Sim Gill. Here we go. Sim Gill said in a statement Friday he felt one of his most important duties as district attorney is to oversee use of police force, or the police use of force. Although this case did not end in the way we had hoped, this office will continue in that duty of oversight, Gill said. I further appreciate all the hard work that everyone put into this very important case for our community. Donald Trump is trying to persuade will try to persuade the U.S. Supreme Court this week to reverse a judicial decision to kick him off the ballot in Colorado over his actions concerning the January 6th Capitol attack, arguing that the constitutional provision his opponents cite does not apply to him as a former president.
Huh?
It may not be the only time Trump makes this type of assertion to the justices. As he fights 4 criminal cases and civil litigation in lower courts, Trump has repeatedly advanced a bold argument that he is formally immune or otherwise not subject to these legal challenges.
So he's not denying the crimes.
No.
Right. No,
I
but
just
saying that you can't charge
Yeah.
me because I was president.
Yeah.
He's immune. Nikki Haley, as the Republican Party and National Committee is crowning Trump the winner, Nikki Haley is still running hard, and she's raising a lot of money.
Well, she's finally campaigning the way that she should have from the beginning and the way that Ron DeSantis should
The
have.
honest way.
Attacking Trump.
The Haley campaign has the money to keep her long-shot presidential bid alive, even as many leaders in the party have called for the Republican primary to come to an end. Haley raised $16.5 million in January,
surprising.
including 11. Well, you know who's backing her? The Koch brothers. The campaign also added 69,274 new donors last month. Haley is doing well. Her campaign is doing well. I'm not sure what this can do to Trump.
Make him work harder.
It may start to turn the tide in certain ways. I don't know. We'll see.
Did you see her on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I thought that was odd.
It was dumb.
I don't think they should have done that. Really.
I agree.
Although
I was glad that they held her to the slavery question.
Yeah.
I was glad they brought that up.
Yep. Student, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live much, but I watched an episode from a few weeks ago with Emma Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Stone, I mean.
Emma Stone.
And she was incredibly good in every single sketch, and almost none of the sketches made any sense. They were like,
she was good in things that didn't make
what
sense.
are they doing? What is this about? Anyway, let's see. How much time do we have here?
One more, quick.
Pocatello, Idaho. Local man has found a way to use the campaign signs of political candidates to help stray cats stay warm during the winter.
Aww.
Kelly Boudry, a 63-year-old retired engineer from Pocatello, has been building cat shelters out of campaign signs for the last 2 years. He takes these shelters and places them in areas with stray cat colonies so the cats can stay warm during the cold months. This is probably the only thing that politics has ever done for feral cats, Boudry said. As there haven't been many elections in 2023, Boudry has run out of materials to build new shelters, and he's looking for people to donate any signs they have. He's worked to get new signs by contracting with local representatives and the League of Women Voters, but he's exhausted his local sources this year. He says he's got some coming in from Boise, but he needs to build more shelters to help the feral cats. All right, that's it.
Sports, weather, traffic.
Alert friend of the program reminds me that the church venue I was thinking of was the Pompadour. Remember the Pompadour?
Oh, the Pompadour. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. Longtime friends of the program know. all kinds of things. So it may not have secured the Olympics yet, but the group organizing a push to bring the Winter Games back to Utah has secured 85% of the 24,000 hotel rooms required to have on hand if it hosts the 2030 or 2034 Olympics. So part of your bid is we have to have access to 24,000 hotel rooms. They have secured those for places that don't even exist yet.
Oh, boy.
One of them is a hotel out at the Point. We'll take all those rooms in this building that doesn't exist yet. They've reserved rooms all the way up into Idaho.
Ridiculous.
To make
There's
make
so
sure
many
they have-
empty apartment buildings around here. Why don't we just,
give them an apartment building?
Yes.
How about this building?
How about the Broadway Media Tower? That's sports weather. So right now, not raining here in Salt Lake. I know up in Morgan they were seeing some snow and other places seeing rain. We're going to have this pattern for several days. 70% chance of rain likely today, high of 49. Looks like we maintain about 50 to 70% chance of rain through Wednesday. And then Wednesday night into Thursday, it finally cools down enough that rain could change over to snow. But we have lots of water on the way, which is great news. Traffic, let's see. Pretty bad accident, West Antelope Drive. Both sides of the road are closed. Take a different route through there. Thank you, Infinity member who sent that in. Eastbound I-80 blocked east of Saltaire. Traffic backed up to Stansbury Park. Somebody else saying Nirvana played at the Pompadour in '92. I wasn't there for that.
I remember that.
I wish I was there. I didn't see that. Crash northbound I-15 80 is South Collector ramp. Left shoulder affected there. Westbound SR 201 Mountain View corridor off ramp. There's a crash there. And what are you seeing on the roads, or do you have memories of venues that don't exist anymore? You can text us 33986. The Stateroom Presents, that exists. That's here now. Bringing you music memories from Tom Petty fans. Don't miss the Wildflowers, a great Tom Petty tribute band. Friday, February 9th at the Stateroom. Tickets and showtimes available at thestateroompresents.com.
All right, we got some geek news after these, and then just after 9 o'clock, it's the Boner Recap Games. Stay tuned for all of that.
Mark Rodson featuring Bruno Mars.
Okay.
Owing a considerable amount of money to the James Brown estate and the Rick James estate.
I would say.
I requested that this
But
morning.
pretty tasty, I must say.
I'm not a Bruno Mars fan.
I'm going to make you one.
No, I don't think so. I think it's Mark Ronson.
No, it's
And
No, I can tell you it's Bruno Mars, and here's why.
Why?
Because it rips off a lot of stuff.
Not ripped, inspired
And
by.
I'm not saying it in a bad way.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably so it's Bruno Mars sounding as much as he can like somebody else.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable.
It was. Normally, I don't.
I'm glad that somebody is still making that kind of music.
Exactly.
So that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I do love that kind of music.
Beck had to do it a few years ago.
Yeah.
Which was kind of odd, but so are you okay, Gina?
I got my song request. I'm great. Why?
Oh, okay. Is that I guess that's what it was. Usually you have a greeting for me.
I had my headphones
but
on. I was uptown funky. I had no time for you.
Gina's got so much funk.
I don't. That's why I have to add it to my life.
I've seen her. I've seen her dance. She's got the. See, I don't dance. Because
you know better.
Because I know I look silly. I know I look like a white guy. I have to be really, really, really drunk.
And you probably haven't even done that in a long time.
In a really long time.
There are mornings when we're playing a song.
Oh, do I do it and not realize I'm doing it?
And we've been meaning to have an intervention.
Do I sometimes dance and I don't realize I'm dancing?
Sometimes you air guitar.
Do I?
Yeah.
And I don't know I'm doing it.
And air drum. And
that's terrible.
Yeah.
The last time I remember dancing, I believe, what was that band that used to play at all like Green Street and
I want to say, they were like Solid Groove or Solid Gold or.
I don't know.
And they, and they put
the
on
disco
the wig.
drippers?
Disco drippers. There we go.
Drippers.
The disco drippers. And I remember when at Trolley Square, when Green Street was there, and it was the middle of summer, and they would have cordon off part of the parking lot there, and you could just go out there and dance.
Right.
And I believe the disco drippers were there.
Quite possibly.
And I remember dancing there and taking off most of my clothing.
Really?
Yeah. It was. It was.
You were having a good time.
I was indeed having a great time. I was down to a shirt and boxer shorts.
Really?
Yeah. And dancing to the disco drippers. And I think our salesman, the guy who later became our salesman, was singing with the disco drippers at that time. Scott.
He was with the band at the time.
Scott, what's his name?
Yeah.
Yep. Took off most of my clothing. I was dancing with a.
I don't know how I missed that.
I was dancing. Well, you weren't there. That's how. You weren't invited.
But you'd think that word would have got out. Bill's over there.
No, I was with my actor friends.
Oh,
I do need to be drunk to dance, but I do it more often than that. I was wedding in Idaho was the last time.
Oh, I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
Well,
There's video evidence of this, and it's a bad thing.
Well, let's face it. I have seen people, white people that dance well, but we are not among them, I think. No, not among them.
And I think you get a pass at a wedding. I don't think anyone's going to, Because
I often make passes at people at weddings.
All right, Geek News brought to you by.
Are there any closet Swifties out there? Check out Laser Taylor Swift, now playing every Friday and Saturday at the Hanson Dome Theater and Clark Planetarium. Visit clarkplanetarium.org for showtimes.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, hang on.
Yes?
There we go. All right. Okay. All kind of news for you. I do have something for you to watch, but I'll save that till the end. But the first story, the only Marvel movie being released this year, Deadpool 3.
Which will do well.
Which will do well.
And there is a trailer out, right?
No, there's just like photos from the set, things like that. Which Ryan Reynolds has asked people don't post those photos because we're shooting outside, and it'll ruin some things because there's going to be a lot of guest characters. Well, according to Matthew Vaughn, who directed Argyle, he's been out promoting Argyle, which tanked apparently.
It was number one at the box office, but didn't make money.
Yeah. They were talking to him because he did a Marvel movie. He did an X-Men movie, which was very good, X-Men First Class. They said, what do you know about this new Deadpool movie? Because you know people. And here's what he had to say, and this is giving us some good hopes. The Marvel Universe is about to have a jolt. It's going to bring that body back to life. I think Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are about to save the entire Marvel Universe.
Wow.
He said...
it's quite a boast.
I'll say. He wants the movies to be as good as they should be. He's confident that Deadpool 3, which he says may be called Deadpool versus Wolverine, will be the jolt that the new Mothership series needs. He says the few snippets that I know about this movie are unbelievable.
I don't doubt that.
Now, what I think he's referring to is because Deadpool breaks all the rules, He breaks the fourth wall. He's got a time travel device now.
Right.
And of course, the multiverse happened. What I think is going to happen is they're going to press the reset button on the entire
everything?
Marvel Cinematic Universe and go from there. Saying, well, everything's been shaken up now. The X-Men are here now.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. But, it'll be interesting. We do have our Supergirl. She has been cast. James Gunn stated that Millie Alcock is going to be playing Supergirl. This is the one from House of the Dragon. She said, Millie was the first person I brought up to Peter Safran for this role well over a year ago, when I only read the comics that I'm basing the story on. So I was watching House of the Dragon, and I immediately thought she might have the edge, grace, and authenticity that we need for this universe's Supergirl.
I was going to say, she's a little hard. She's a little...
she's good, though.
She's a little tough.
Well, this Supergirl story that they're telling, it's sort of a different take on Supergirl. She's not the, hey, how you doing?
That's what I mean.
I'm here to
That's
save
not
the day.
her.
No, she's more of a hard edge. She's had a rough life.
Okay.
So, it'll be interesting to see. I have trust in James Gunn. Let's see. We had Ayo Edebiri last night on Saturday Night Live.
Apparently she was very good.
She was going to be in the Thunderbolts movie, the Marvel Suicide Squad.
And Stephen Yeun, too,
And
right?
Stephen Yeun. She stepped out. I think it's because both their prices went up.
We're a thing now? We're award winners?
But she is being replaced with Geraldine Viswanathan.
Don't know who that is.
She's been in a lot of stuff, and it's mostly comedy. Mostly comedy stuff. We know she can handle the comedy. She was in that movie Blockers. She was in the TBS series Miracle Workers, the Sundance picture Cat Person. She was in the Apple show The Beanie Bubble. She's going to be in Ethan Cohen's Drive Away Dolls and the Amazon comedy You're Cordially Invited with Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. She does comedy, but she'll be replacing Ayo in the Thunderbolts movie. Oh, here's a bit of casting that I think you'll be excited about.
Werner? No.
I guess I'm not doing a very good.
That sounds like Werner.
I'm not doing a very good Moira Rose.
Sounds like Moira Rose.
Yes, Catherine O'Hara has been cast in Last of Us Season 2.
Oh.
It's not for any part that was in the video game. It's a role that was created just for the show. But I want it to just be Moira Rose in the apocalypse. That's what
How would she handle
That's what I want to see how she would handle that.
What wig is appropriate
Exactly.
for the
I'm not ready for the apocalypse.
That's what I want to see, but I won't get that. There is, the Judge Dredd comics. There was a whole Judge Dredd type universe there in these.
Sylvester Stallone tried to do that.
Yeah, in these British, but it was based on these British comics. And one of the very popular ones in that series was a character. It was a comic called Rogue Trooper, and Duncan Jones, David Bowie's kid, is directing an animated version of this. Now let me tell you some of the voices that are going to be in it, and then I'll tell you the plot, and you'll go, okay, I'll give this a try. Haley Atwell, she's going to be there. Jermaine Clement, Matt Berry, Asa Butterfield, Sean Bean. Now, here's the story of the comic. A lone genetically engineered soldier stalking the poisonous, war-torn landscape of New Earth, which is the Judge Dredd universe, with him travel 3 of his dead comrades, Helm, Gunner, and Bagman. Their personalities have been transferred into biochips implanted into his rifle, helmet, and backpack.
Really?
What?
This is my buddy?
And so he talks
rifle is my
to his rifle, his helmet, and his backpack, and they talk back.
Okay.
Because they're his friends.
All right.
Their mission to hunt down the man who betrayed them.
Sounds interesting.
I'll give that a shot. I'm actually kind of interested in this because, Marvel, their comic book series, What If? They usually only handle Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Well, now that Disney owns Marvel,
You can do anything.
and Disney owns
What if Bambi's mom never died?
Disney owns 20th Century Fox,
Wouldn't be much of a story, would it?
Shut up.
that means Disney owns the Alien franchise. So you're getting a What If comic focusing on Carter Burke from Aliens, played by Paul Reiser. Remember the evil corporate guy?
Yeah.
What if he survived? And here's the kicker. It's being written by Paul Reiser and his son.
Okay.
That'll be available in comic books on March 6th. And finally, this Geek News warned you about the Dune 2 popcorn bucket a week ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, here's what you can watch at work today. Just Google SNL Dune popcorn bucket.
Yep, it's unsettling.
And we showed.
I wish I had
For a long, long time.
I haven't seen it, but I know what's going on right now.
Yep, exactly.
Been waiting for someone special, and now that I found it, it finally feels so right.
Yeah, no, I don't need to see this.
'Cause I'm a gentle teenage boy with an innocent heart, but you found a way to touch it. And now that my parents are gone, I'm gonna lose my virginity to the Dune popcorn bucket.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So that's something that you can watch at work today. It's the Dune popcorn bucket that we tried to warn you about some time ago. Yes, it's a real thing. I thought it was maybe an internet joke, but it is not. I was hoping it was an internet joke, but it is not. All right.
It's a joke.
Well, eastbound I-80 is blocked east of Saltaire. Traffic backed up into Stansbury Park. This is due to a couple of earlier accidents that are making things very, very difficult to get through there. What else do we have besides that? We have crash eastbound I-84 in Mountain Green. We have a crash northbound I-15 33rd South, milepost 303. Northbound I-15 80 South Collector Ramp off to the left shoulder. Crash westbound SR201 Mountain View Corridor off ramp. And what are you seeing out there on the roads? Let me check our message stream, see if anybody sent anything in at 33986. Nope, but you certainly can if you see something, and I will be happy to pass that along. Shop everyday low prices on a huge selection of home furnishings at Living Spaces, plus discover clearance deals that are up to 60% get free next day shipping. Save big every day only at Living Spaces.
Texter says, I saw the Dune popcorn bucket in person on Saturday. It is actually worse than you can imagine.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know how they did.
They're going to sell so many of these. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after these messages and a song to play the Boner Recap game. KXRK Provo.
X96.
I have to go over to the stairwell here and tell Chainsaw Guy that we're ready for him.
To come over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I'll do that.
So this is usually it's a best question of the week, but this week it's Chainsaw Guy is going to be answering questions from you, our listeners. So Katie has some emailed ones. Chainsaw Guy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm right here, ready to go.
All right. Well, then let's start.
Hey, wait, who's that?
That's Katie.
Oh, hi, Katie.
Long time no see.
I love Katie. You love haunted houses, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, we've worked together, actually, Katie. I was the Chainsaw Guy at your haunted house when you worked over there at the Nightmare on 13th.
That's right. Yep. All right. Well, I got a couple questions for you, sir.
Okay.
So this one comes from Derek. It says, I know everyone is sick of hearing about COVID and the issues of mask wearing, but you being a person who wears a mask that I would assume would wear it always, what do you have to say to those people who believe this ridiculous idea that people cannot function normally with masks on?
Well, I don't know about functioning normally, but I know that mask wearing is very important. And you can put your eye down with something. Or you can don't put your eye down with something. You might take a bite. You got it too. What's it in for? And then you get on the mask. But anyway, we can have a snack. You can, but you've got to be careful. And watch your little farmer. And watch out for the build-up of mold.
Oh.
Build-up of
mold.
What?
Mold. Okay. Behind the mask, you get some mold occasionally.
Okay. All right. All right, I got another question then.
What?
So, what sort of advice could you give a guy who spent all of his rent money on lottery tickets? And now that rent is coming up and all of his money is in Chevron, he has no idea what to do.
Tough. Next question.
Next question.
Next. I don't have anything to say like that. Come on.
You don't have anything to say
No,
about that?
no. No.
That's it?
You got to build up of bold.
All right, final question, sir.
Okay, I'm ready. Wait a minute.
Do you have a favorite chili recipe?
Do I ever? I'm telling you, what you do is you take your cans home and you get your can of pickle. And then lay up home and take the can and pickle. And then you take the cake off and and you figure right there, my favorite recipe is that close home. And then you have, and then take a bag of freedom and then put home. And then it's a Denison's. Delicious Denison's.
All right.
Canned chili.
Well, Chainsaw Guy, I know you've been super busy. This is your busy time of year, and for you to take just a few minutes with us every year at Halloween, it doesn't feel like Halloween unless we talk to you, and you are always so helpful and have great advice.
Well, thank you. I've got to go back and work on. I'm remodeling my rec room, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I got to go back and work on that. I built this display case for all of my old Playboy magazines, and now I'm going to build a little rack where I can where I put all my Perry Como records.
Perry Como
Perry
records.
Como. Listen, you put on a Perry Como and open a Playboy. Can of Denison's and I'm set.
Okay.
See you later.
Happy Halloween, Chainsaw
Happy
Guy.
Halloween, sir.
So this weekend is also the big shopping thing.
It is.
And I'm telling you right now, if you go, I'm going to be hurt.
The big shopping thing being every year, Gene. Well, you tell them what you do every year.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina.
It's my mom, the Sainted Mary Claire, and 3 of her friends, and all their daughters. I don't even know how many people it is. It's like 40 people.
But they're all of a certain. Oh no, I'm not going to do it. Never mind. I was going to be way too mean there.
I was so hoping you'd continue. Let that thought flow through there.
In fact, one of the mothers was shopping a day or two ago with her daughters. I'm not sure where they were, but
Getting a jump on it, were they?
Well, no, they were trying to buy the matching jammies because we all wear matching jammies, and
Those are pajamas for those of you who don't know what jammies are.
matching jammies. And the mother said, "Oh, I want these," and they said, "Well, we need to order them in." And she said, "Well, I have to have them by Thursday." I'm like, why do you need 5 pairs of matching jammies by Thursday? And she said, "Well, we go on this shopping trip every year." And he said, "Is this Gina Barberi's shopping trip?"
God. Okay, so we don't need to explain it. Everybody seems to know. But here's the deal: is that if you go,
why will you be hurt?
I will be hurt because she can't make the ride into work here and sit in this comfortable chair that Babinski's has given you.
But she can go
She can go and shop. And that just shows there's that guilt thing coming back, is that you and I cannot have any control.
No.
But Mary Claire, queen of guilt.
She directs my life, as you know.
I don't think that you should let your mother make you go on this shopping.
That's right. That's right.
Well, and actually we've talked about it a lot the last couple of days, and she's been worried about me, and I've been having some trouble the last couple of days. And
Richie's having a T-shirt made for you, by the way. It just says "irritable uterus" on it.
Well,
I'd wear it.
Let's see if we can get a second tie line to come in here. I know big radio stations can do that, and we're just KXRK Provo, but let's see if we can get a second tie line in here so that Gina can be at home and we can be at Jiffy Lube on Monday. And we can all be here.
All right.
It'd be nice if we could do that.
All right.
It's the JT thing that's the problem.
Well, JT can maybe send her traffic in pre-recorded.
Oh, okay.
JT, you're there, right? Maybe we could do that just for
Whatever
one day.
you guys want.
For one day.
That's a doable thing, isn't it, JT?
As long as somebody can play an MP3 over there.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
All right, we'll have Richie work that out.
I mean, it would be sort of live traffic, but it would be like
I'll send it like a minute or two.
a minute
for
or
us.
two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be able to do my sign off though.
Well, we'll be okay.
We'll forego
One
that.
day, one day.
Yeah, whatever you guys want. Come
All
on.
right. Uh, 9:07 right now.
Beyonce in Payson is anxious to try to play the Boner recap. And I said, Beyonce, you got to call in.
Can't text.
From
Have to call.
Payson.
Payson.
I don't believe there's a Beyonce in Payson. I don't believe that's possible.
That's very rude. She's listening right now, Bill.
Show yourself.
In Payson.
It's time for the Boner recap, I believe, isn't it?
Sure.
Do we have a contestant?
Let me see. It looks like the randomizer has picked Paige.
Paige, hello. Are you there? Paige?
Maybe. Katie said we were having a little phone issue.
Paige? When aren't we having a phone issue? And
Well-
when is it ever little?
You know what? I haven't even mentioned what the prize is.
Oh, okay.
Paige was just calling no matter what the prize was. The prize is X96 welcomes the last dinner party to the complex on August 7th.
All right.
You can find out information about that show, ticket links, and details at x96.com.
Is Paige back?
Paige?
Nope.
Paige.
And the randomizer got rid of all the other contestants.
Well,
all right.
We'll hang on to that prize.
Well, maybe, Bill, you can read the Boner recap, and in the interim,
All
someone
right,
might
I'll read the
call.
Boner candidates, and you call 877-602-9696, and we'll see if the phone works. And then you can tell me the winner. Boner candidate number one was, authorities predicted he'd be back, just not that soon. A man in Springfield, Illinois, was released from jail on bail. He had committed a crime. And 15 minutes after being released from jail, he committed another crime and was arrested again. Authorities predicted he'd be back, just not that soon. Boner candidate number two was people. You've got to be more careful with your drugs. Two stories. A man in Australia was pulled over by the cops for a drug or a breathalyzer test. He was driving irresponsibly. And when the officer said, "Let me see your license, mate," he handed him his license, but stuck onto his license accidentally somehow was a small bag of cocaine, which he handed to the cop. And then the other story was a guy in Tennessee who was arrested, and they put him in the back of the patrol car, and he said, I got a bag of drugs in my butt. And the cop said, well, get it out. He got out of the car and had to dig it out. And then Boner candidate number three was this border crisis. Hello?
Yes. No.
What?
Keep going.
This border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good versus evil. That's all this nonsense going on at the border. And there are this representative in Texas, by the way, trying to cast it as this spiritual issue. This is a good versus evil. It's an administrative issue.
It's paperwork.
That's
We need
all
to
it
get
is.
the paperwork worked out.
That's all it is.
And if these people claim to be Christian and follow the Bible, there is passage after passage after passage in the Bible, not saying that this is how you should treat people that are trying to flee difficult circumstances and how you welcome them. And you're doing it wrong.
Do we have a contestant?
Bree
now?
is here, and I think that
Bree?
she might have been listening.
Hello?
Hi, Bree. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Mill Creek.
Okay. Bree, do you know which one of those candidates won the boner voting?
I do. It was number 3.
It was, in fact, number 3. And that makes you a winner, Bree. And what's the prize again, Gina?
It's tickets to see the last dinner party. Oh, yeah, the phones aren't fixed, clearly. The last dinner party
Yay.
at the complex on August 7th.
All right.
Hang on,
Bree.
Tell you how to get those.
We thought maybe they were fixed.
Nope.
Can I just mention this traffic just because it's a pretty major thing? The freeway is closed, eastbound I-80, 1 mile east of Magna. It's the SR 201 junction. They have shut down the freeway going that direction. Traffic is backing all the way up to Stansbury Park.
What's happened? Do you know?
I think this is what the earlier friends of the program were texting in about, that the wind was really bad out there blowing semis over.
Oh, really?
So I'm guessing that's what it is, but freeway closed there. So normally we don't do traffic here, but I thought I should mention that.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of throws tomorrow's show into...
We have lots of... What do you guys want us to do on tomorrow's show?
Let's do some classics again. Some Radio from
How
Hell
did that-
classics.
how did
Really
that go?
well.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought it went really well.
You enjoyed those?
I enjoyed them
Was there,
immensely.
my guess is there were things that you had no memory of doing.
Yes, there was. What was the... Well, I had no memory of that Mona Community Notes one that we did. I had no memory of it.
Oh, by the way, I drove, obviously, past Mona
Yes.
on my travels, and
Yeah.
there are big billboards there talking about the Juab County Cowboy Poetry Festival. I see a mighty Marvel team-up.
Conway
here.
Skinner.
Conway Skinner.
I'll bet we have some old Conway Skinner.
I didn't see any.
Boy, I don't know. I should look and see if I have some of those scripts. Because
I-
if I did...
I see Don in Denver.
You think Don in Denver...
with Conway going to the... I
why
don't
don't you
know.
write that?
I'm not allowed to write those scripts.
I think that maybe we should do some classics tomorrow. That was, I thought those were, these are bits that we did years ago, back when the show was funny, and not political.
Yeah, back when we were allegedly so political.
Yeah.
Even though we were giving Bill Clinton hell every day.
Slick Willie?
Yeah.
Billary?
I couldn't
Remember Billary?
I couldn't stop calling him Slick Willie.
Just have to keep reminding people, we haven't changed. The show has not changed.
Not much.
You have. All right? You're being tricked by the internet.
But at any rate, they were. I thought they were quite fun. I liked the Crypt Keeper, not Crypt Keeper, the Grave Digger.
Yeah, we can't call him the Crypt Keeper. That would be.
And the high concept comedy of Little Tommy Little. The
3-year-old stand-up comic. Yeah.
That was really high concept.
Yes.
Nick's mouth opened really wide.
He's never heard
and
any
he
of
went,
those.
What?
He couldn't believe that it was happening. And neither could I. But there you go.
The Wayback Machine.
Okay, well,
we'll figure something out. All right, we'll take a break. We will be back after these messages with some news. We got the concert calendar on the way. Stand by for all of that. Black Velvet Boutique.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day when we start
That's what I hear, yeah.
reminding you about Black Velvet Boutique. It's a great place to shop year round, but maybe you're thinking about these things a little more this time of year. 595 South State Street in Clearfield, or you can go to blackvelvetboutique.com. Good sex is one of life's great pleasures. Creating intimate connections in the bedroom, it requires good communication, but telling our partners what we want, well, it can feel a little awkward sometimes. There's an expert staff at Black Velvet Boutique available to you as a sexual resource. They're available to answer your questions discreetly, provide suggestions. It's an all-female staff at Black Velvet Boutique. They pride themselves on creating a safe, judgment-free atmosphere. Visit them and shop for intimate bedroom toys, lingerie, massage oils, and books. Enjoy the best parts about being an adult at Black Velvet Boutique. Locally owned and operated. They're nice women. I've met them before. Staffed entirely by women since 2000. It's open 7 days a week, 595 South State Street in Clearfield, and blackvelvetboutique.com.
It's often said that people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day, and today's word is...
It occurs to me that we need a separate intro produced for segments such as this one. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for reasons which will be explained later, here's the mayor of Mona, Utah, with his second State of the City address.
Good morning, folks, and otherwise fine citizens of Mona, Utah. Good morning to the Mona City Council members who have gathered here this morning to hear my second annual report, which I'm doing because of the complaints that the first one wasn't complete enough. I'm your mayor, the Mayor of Mona, Don Criddle. And as Mayor of Mona, it is my civil duty to address you all once a year, or twice a year if you don't like the first one, and to report on the condition of our fair city, Mona, Utah, the city of which I, Don Criddle, am mayor of. And this is my second annual State of the City address.
Don't forget to talk about me, Daddy. I'm here with you, so make sure you talk about me as well.
'Tis true. I have brung my young son, Denver.
Denver Criddle, son of Mayor of Mona, Don Criddle.
'Tis true. I have brung Denver, who will talk about the state of the city of Mona, Utah, as it pertains and otherwise relates to the young folk of our city, Mona, Utah.
That's right. The State of City address this time is multi-generational. That's Latin. It means multi-generations, or more than one generation. And I'm going to address one of them generations today, the young one.
That's right, because as you know, Mona, Utah, has a big diversity of white folks living here. There's men and women and children and horses, and we got dogs and cats. And part of that is our Chinese restaurant, which is owned by the Christiansen family. They all are threads in the beautiful tapestry of Mona, Utah. Oh, and we have a Flying J, too, but some folks who live in Nephi, they come over and they run that. Now, as your mayor, the Mayor of Mona, Don Criddle, I am pleased to tell you that the state of Mona, and by state I mean condition, you know, the way things are in Mona is good. Some might say real good. And the budget is very nearly balanced now.
So does that mean you figured out how to stop the money leak, Daddy?
Denver!
Did you ever find out who put a hole in the city's money boat where the tax money would slowly drip, drip, drip into someone else's pocket?
That is enough, Denver.
I know that you were sure that Eldon Whitlow was the one responsible for the shortages, right, Daddy?
Denver! Mr. Whitlow has been the finest city manager Mona has ever had. I'm sorry, Eldon.
And he has a real nice new car, too.
Denver, why don't you just give a report on how Mona young folk are doing in our fair city?
We're doing good, Daddy. It's winter, and we can't swim in the pond. So a bunch of us are learning to smoke.
Denver!
No, I'm sorry. Did I say smoke? I meant ski. Yeah. A bunch of us kids are learning to ski. We got lessons out on the hill in the cemetery, so I'd say the kids of Mona are doing good. The kids are all right.
Well, there you have it, folks. Enough is enough. I think you can see why around these ports we say Mona, Utah. So why not?
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah Word of the Day.
Okay, 9:20. Let's get some news in here. Big boy news and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Waterproof your home with Baseco because water can make its way through your foundation in many different ways. Baseco specializes in a variety of permanent foundation waterproofing solutions tailored to your unique issue. From sump pumps all the way to major repair to cracked settling foundations, each solution backed by a guarantee. Schedule a free assessment today at baseco.net.
Students in Florida can no longer take sociology to fulfill their core course requirements, according to Florida State University system ruling on Wednesday of last week. Instead, the Board of Governors approved a factual history course as a replacement. The decision by a 17-member Board of Governors came after fierce opposition from sociology professors in the university system, which includes the University of Florida and Florida State. And it is the latest move by the administration of Governor Ron DeSantis to challenge the education establishment and what the governor portrayed as its liberal orthodoxy. Mr. DeSantis, a Republican, had tried to leverage his education record in his failed campaign for president. In a brief announcement on Wednesday, Chancellor Ray Rodriguez said he was proud of the board's decision. The replacement history class includes America's founding and the horrors of slavery, the resulting Civil War, and the Reconstruction era. The move has alarmed sociology professors who believe it could lead to fewer students taking classes and majoring in the subject. The American Sociological Association said in a statement Wednesday it was outraged by the decision that was made without any evidentiary basis.
Do you know what we need at the border?
Some sociologists.
Sociologists.
The decision seems, listen to what they said.
Yeah.
The decision seems to be coming not from an informed perspective.
Nope.
But rather from gross misunderstanding of sociology as an illegitimate discipline driven by radical and woke ideology, the statement said. To the contrary, sociology is the scientific study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior, which are at the core of civic literacy and are essential to a broad range of careers.
We need at the border social workers to help facilitate the hopefully revamped system that makes it easier to come to this country legally. We need immigration lawyers and social workers.
Yes.
We don't need people with guns.
No.
We need immigration lawyers and social workers.
Here's a story from Cairns, Australia.
Okay.
Rain Island is a coral cay situated out on the northern tip of Australia's Great Barrier Reef and has served as a nesting place for green turtles for over 1,000 years. Rain Island's a beautiful and special place, said Kieran Murray of the Withothi Aboriginal Corporation. There's nowhere else on this planet where you can come and see this many turtles. It's a wonder to see. Even as the longest-known turtle breeding colony in the world, recent climate change-driven impacts are threatening the haven. The sex of most turtles, including green turtles, is dependent on the temperature of the developing egg. Higher temperatures produce female hatchlings. With the temperature of the sand on Rain Island at record highs, 99% of the hatchlings are now female. See how that could be a problem? More startling is the fact that it has been this way for at least the last 20 years. You do the math, all females, no males, what's going to happen? Going to be a population crash and no more turtle.
Mm-hmm.
There are, however, initiatives taking place aimed at helping the island recover. The recovery project says we'll always be here fighting for Rain Island, fighting for the turtles, but we can't do it alone. We need the government and big business to wake up and see what they're doing to the planet and get real about it. Good luck with that. Yeah. Mrs. Butterworth. Mrs. Butterworth.
Yes.
Mrs. Butterworth has teamed up with Dunkin' Donuts for the launch of new Mrs. Butterworth's Dunkin' Glazed Donut-flavored pancake syrup.
What?
I don't think we need that,
this is
do we?
A crime.
Developed with Dunkin' culinary experts.
Let me check my blood. I think I just got diabetes.
Yep, just now.
Hearing that story.
The new syrup mirrors the sweet vanilla flavor of a fried glazed donut and is designed to make pancakes and waffles even more flavorful. The syrup can also be enjoyed on items like yogurt, oatmeal, biscuits, and more. You know what? I don't use Mrs. Butterworth's syrup because I use syrup.
Yeah. Real maple syrup.
Real maple syrup.
Not flavored sugar water.
Yeah, no, I don't. A collection of sneakers that superstar Michael Jordan wore as he and his Chicago Bulls won 6 NBA championships has fetched $8 million at auction.
Wow.
Setting a new
But
record.
are they your size? I mean, can you even wear them?
Setting a new record for game-worn sneakers.
No, Gina, we just put them on the shelf up there.
Look at that. Look at them. Look, there
And
they
then
are.
when people come over, we go, look.
Look what I got.
And they go, wow,
This
you
is
have
why
a lot
I'm
of disposable income.
This is why I'm getting rid of stuff, all right?
Japan's embassy in the United States is urging fans not to worry about Taylor Swift making it to the Super Bowl on time. She'll be leaving Japanese airspace after her February 6-10 show in Tokyo, headed back to the U.S. after a show to be at football's biggest events. In an official memo to fans released on February 2nd, the Embassy of Japan in the United States told fans and citizens that the embassy is aware of recent media reports concerning the steps that Taylor Swift will need to take to travel from Tokyo after her concert. The embassy reassured the public that Taylor Swift can time travel, that she will make it from
It is
Tokyo.
kind of time traveling
It is, in
because
a
you
way.
come back in time.
Yeah, she will make it to Las Vegas in time to watch the game in a somewhat secret message that would catch the eye of Swifties around the world. The embassy pulled out certain words that matched albums in the pop star's discography. Despite the 12-hour flight and 17-hour time difference, the embassy can confidently speak now to say that if she departs Tokyo in the evening after her concert, she should definitely or comfortably arrive in Las Vegas before the Super Bowl begins. And then they did a whole bunch of Fearless. And I guess she announced a new album last night at the Grammys, and it has an interesting title. Now I've lost that story.
Oh,
it's called A Hostage of Artistic Corner?
No.
Or a hostage of...
No.
It's a hostage something.
It's I'll find it.
It is the hostage...
I don't think it's a hostage.
Yes, it is.
It's called The Lead and How to Swing It.
Or was it The Lead and How to Swing It?
I'm pretty sure it's The Lead.
Let's see.
It's called The Tortured Poets Department.
The Tortured Poets Department.
Okay.
That's an odd title. Joni Mitchell was at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Nobody thought that she would ever perform again. She had a brain aneurysm back in 2015.
Did she perform?
She did.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
She just did Both Sides Now.
Oh, let me.
She whispered Both Sides Now.
She whispered it. Okay.
Yeah, and she's doing a show too somewhere. The Hollywood Bowl. She's going to be doing a show.
Everyone was talking about what Miley Cyrus, how her hair was and what she was wearing.
I didn't see it.
Her hair was kind of 80s crazy.
Well, somebody
she said it was an homage to Tina Turner.
To Tina Turner.
Trying
Well,
to make it look
okay, all right. I was going to say Jane Fonda, but
vocalist Scott Stapp, who Creed, says, quote, "I think the best is yet to come for Creed." Well, Scott, you've got nowhere to go but up.
Say, Scott, you're a time traveler.
You know, the best is yet to come. I would say you'd better hope the best is yet to come.
Mm-hmm.
After 30 years, Sam Waterston is leaving the Law & Order show. He announced on February 2nd he would be stepping down from his role as District Attorney Jack McCoy on Law & Order after more than 400 episodes. "Time has come for me to move on and take Jack McCoy with me," said the 83-year-old actor. "There's a sadness in leaving, but I'm just too curious about what's next." You know, the afterlife.
I was going to say, you don't have to work anymore, Sam. It's okay to stop.
Still somehow it's cloud illusions that I recall. I really don't know clouds at all.
What's your Joni Mitchell?
The Shamrock Shake is returning to McDonald's.
Thank
and
God!
McDonald's has promised this year extra leprechauns. Extra leprechauns in the shake.
This is the news
To
that
make
I
it-
need right now.
To make it extra.
Oh, and Carrie, look, you can
Shepherd
get
on it.
Shamrock Shake with stuff in it.
Oh,
you can
that-
get a McFlurry.
That's the extra leprechaun.
You can get a McFlurry.
Listen, unless I get my free Uncle O'Grimacy cup.
They're trying to kid you that those are Oreo pieces. That's leprechaun bones.
Yep.
That's what that is.
Oh, boy.
A Shamrock
Good news.
Shake. Give me that and a McRib, and I'm going to be a happy boy.
Amen.
Mhm.
All right. Weather.
Right now, things are dry in Salt Lake at least, but we're not going to be that dry the rest of this week. 70% chance of rain today, high of 49. That continues all the way through until Thursday, actually. We're between 50 and 80% chance of rain those days. Then Wednesday night, it finally gets cold enough that rain should change over to snow, and it looks like we have snow for Thursday and Friday.
Thank you. All right. Concert calendar next.
Yeah, you listen to Radio from Hell and
So you saw this video a week or so ago about the guy strapped a GoPro to his dog to see what the dog did while he was at work.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it.
It was disturbing because the dog didn't have a moment's rest. It was nervous and frightened.
In the house?
In the house. And
He's never coming back. He's never coming back.
it would hear noises outside and be on alert, you know? And it terrified me because I thought to myself about my dog, Ripley. I was just convinced because she can be a little high strung. And I was just convinced that
I don't think she's big enough to strap a GoPro to. It'd be too heavy.
we did not do that. We did, however, a friend of ours gave us this drop cam.
What is it? What is that?
It's a live camera that we set up.
Like a nanny cam?
Like a nanny cam in the living room.
Are you looking at her right now?
This is broadcasting live from my living room right now.
Now, does she just stay in your living room during the day, or can she roam around
Well,
the house?
that's what we wanted to know. Her favorite spot seems to be, we've set up a little kind of a table next to the window, and she likes to sit there and look out the window. So we watched her for a day. She didn't leave that spot.
Well, she's fine then. Don't you feel better?
She's sleeping.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, that's good.
She's a teenager.
Exactly.
She talking back to you?
I thought she'd at least be on guard or a little on alert.
Nah.
No. She barely moves.
A bomb can go off in the front yard.
And that's the other thing is that it has a motion sensor. So it'll alert me. Motion is detected, you know.
That never happens.
No.
She doesn't move.
She was a day. She was lying there.
Then she's perfectly comfortable. This should make you feel good.
Yes and no. She's kind of lazy. A little disappointed.
She's never going to amount to anything.
I think you ought to make her get a job.
Maybe. Require her to get a
little lazy dog.
Lazy dog. Maybe get her, a list of duties, chores.
Yeah.
You leave her list on the counter.
This has got to be done by the time I'm
get
home.
She can put a little paw print next to the one she's completed.
But yeah, that video of the dog that was freaking out, it was disturbing to watch. Made me very upset.
Somebody in the chat room says that most dogs are like that. That guy's dog is just a neurotic mess.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my cat, who is a jerk when we're at home.
Jerk cat.
Mr. Fluffy Pants. I was sitting there yesterday. I was talking to my wife, and he came up and bit me on the arm for no reason. I'm just sitting there, like, ow, what are you doing? And it wasn't hard, but just kind of went and bit me on the arm. I'm certain that cat just sleeps all day. And then when we get home, it goes crazy.
Well, it's because you're in its house when you get there.
Yeah. He just sleeps all day.
Do you think he's like a reincarnated dead person from somebody that hated you? And they're back to haunt you?
No.
No. You don't think so?
No, I
He's
don't.
biting you for no reason.
No,
Maybe it's
I
a
don't.
reason from a past life.
No, I don't.
No?
I don't think that.
I think
I think he's a curse from God. God sent the cat to torment.
Officially.
No, he's just a rambunctious teenager who, when he bites me, I give him a little cuff up the side of the head, and he stops. I go, don't do that.
Is this sponsored, Gina?
Yeah, by the Stateroom Presents.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Here he is, Mr. Stateroom Presents, Darren Piccoli.
Is Twitter still a thing? I thought it was called something else.
No.
We just call it Twitter still.
Really?
Yeah, we really do.
You're not getting sued?
No, I refuse to call it that other thing.
The other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The name we will not mention.
No.
Fair enough. Hi.
So I'm looking
Happy
at
Monday.
your schedule. What do you want to talk about particularly? The bands coming up, or you want to talk about the Grammys?
Well, what was kind of cool with the Grammys was Lucius was on there performing with Joni, which we've had, and Allison Russell we just had last fall, and Brandy, obviously, she's Miss Grammy.
And,
but it's just really cool to see,
Tracy, what's her
Tracy
name?
Chapman.
Chapman, yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was cool. So it's just nice to see artists that we've, come in contact with that are gracing our large, wonderful...
Do you have any idea why Tracy Chapman doesn't perform really anymore?
No. You know what I mean? Just like my gut?
Yeah.
I don't think she's like a stardom kind of
She just doesn't
person.
like it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into performing, especially when you're large like that. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's not all private jets and caviar,
She sounded great.
Escargot. But yeah, she sounded amazing, and I thought that was a cool collaboration.
But one of the cool things about your venues is you can go to shows there, and maybe there are people that haven't broken big yet, and then next year at the Grammys you'll be like, oh, I saw them at
every
this
year.
small,
There seems to be
small
someone like
venue,
that. It's kind of exciting to see. So, but yeah, let's talk about shows we can actually go to. Right?
Okay. All right.
Because I don't think we're allowed to go to the Grammys.
No.
We need lots of money for that. I got a pretty stacked February.
Mm-hmm. What do you like? What do
I like? I like this Wildflowers tribute. It's sold out, but it's this Friday. Paul Jacobson, local artist, puts together a lot of cool collaborations, and he's got 29 artists for this, I believe, for a Tom Petty tribute.
Okay.
That's going to be at the Stateroom. We have a great party show on a Tuesday, which is tomorrow, Fat Tuesday, am I correct?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. So there you go.
I yield to the Catholic girl.
Yeah, it is.
So come on down to the Commonwealth Room, Future Birds and the Nude Party. Kind of like a all country-ish, rocky kind of thing. Super fun show. They've both independently sold out the Stateroom before, and so we figured, hey, let's stick them together.
February 13th is Fat Tuesday.
Thank you.
We got.
Well, you know what? You can prep.
You can.
Because it's hard to jump into a party Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I think tomorrow would be a good,
snack Tuesday.
Dry January's over. Let's go. Let's bring it back. So that's going to be tomorrow at the Commonwealth Room.
This is Future Birds.
We got some cool Eccles shows coming up this month. Some comedy with Mark Norman. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff. Grace Potter's coming at the end of the month, which, she's back to her old rockin' ways. Seen some video of her kind of playing at the Anthem on this tour, and she's definitely throwing it down. And if you don't know who Grace Potter is, you should check it out. She's a really great, I would say, this gen rocker.
Yeah.
Guitar, keyboards, all that.
Who's John Craigie? He's 3 nights.
I know, all sold out.
Who is that?
Singer-songwriter, amazing kind of comedic storyteller in between the songs, and just, it's been catching like wildfire since
Has he been around
first
for a while?
time we've had him. Yeah, probably
He's been around for a while?
5-6 years we've been doing him.
Okay.
But yeah, it's sort of it's always
3
fun.
nights, that's a lot.
It's always nice to have a weekend stand. It's fun for the staff. It's certainly great for the artists. They get to check out our city. They go to restaurants. They go skiing, whatever. And it's just becomes an experience for people. So yeah, he's got a good vibe. It's like it's really interesting. I'm not personally huge into solo singer-songwriters, but it's a great enthralling show. And there might be a couple tickets left there, but on the Friday it looks like maybe.
What else we got? There's
March 4th Marching Band is coming back, which they're great. They're like a 12-piece kind of second line, Burning Man, Mardi Gras type of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the day after the official Fat Tuesday. We'll call tomorrow the unofficial Fat Tuesday.
Well, maybe they're working on Fat Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I would hope so. Yeah.
I'm interested in this too. Just by the title, the discographer's Dark Side of Oz. What is that?
Remember, what was it? 10.
I think I know what you're going to
20 years ago when they timed up Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz.
Okay, yeah.
So live performance, local band, discographers. and they do a live rendition with the movie playing.
Huh.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for the stateroom, it's perfect because it's, we have like 150 seats there, GA seats.
Yeah.
So people can just veg out.
Mm-hmm.
Have a beverage.
Have a beverage.
That's good
or
to me.
two. Maybe other things. I don't know.
Pre-game.
I'm not asking when they walk
those
in.
other
I'm not
things.
asking when they walk
Just
in.
pre-game the other things.
They can get their ID out in a normal fashion, and they can come in the venue. So, that's a local band. We did it once before. It's a pretty cool show.
Yeah. And then you said that the Eccles, Mark Norman.
Yep.
He's a comedian.
Comedian.
And
He's funny.
Is he good? I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with
he
him.
was. He's touted by Jerry Seinfeld. So I mean, to me, Jerry's one of the.
Jerry
one of
Seinfeld's
the top
making
10.
a movie about Pop-Tarts.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be coming out pretty soon.
A movie.
It's
a
about-
movie.
So like a minimum of 75 minutes on Pop Tarts.
I don't know. The creation of the Pop-Tart?
He did 11 seasons of nothing, so I don't see how he couldn't do 75 minutes of something.
It's called Unfrosted.
Those are an abomination.
Those are an abomination.
No, disagree.
You like the
Disagree.
unfrosted
My
Pop-Tarts?
brother-in-law sends those out from New Jersey to us, and I just had one this morning.
Really?
You like the unfrosted?
They're like a little less guilty.
Can't
don't
you
feel
get
like
them
you're
here?
losing a tooth when you eat them.
You can't get them here?
Can't get them here?
I don't know. The Jersey ones are different. That's all I can tell you.
Sort of special ingredient in there.
The Jersey ones.
They're good for pre-Fat Tuesday.
I guess.
Yeah. So no, I would suggest. When's the
Okay.
last time you had one?
It's been a while.
Right. I mean, as a
so-
kid, yes, it's an abomination.
Yeah, okay.
My daughter's like, no way, I'm not eating that thing.
I'm
You
an
have a
adult.
Pop-Tart.
I
I'm
have an
having a Pop-
unfrosted Pop-Tart.
It's the adult Pop-Tart.
What's
Yes.
do you have
It's like
some,
the adult Pogs.
do you have some stuff to give away here?
Yeah, let's give something away. I have one packet left of unfrosted Pop-Tarts.
Oh.
Second caller. We didn't talk about Big Richard. Let's give some tickets away to that.
Who is Big Richard?
Big Richard is for lovely ladies who rip the bluegrass and have fun with their name, let's just say.
Oh, I can see
I
where
see
that
what-
would
I
be.
know. I get
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's an all.
All female, super fun. They're funny on stage. They sold out the stateroom last time. We're moving them over to the old Commonwealth room, and it's a good Saturday night. We'll give away a pair to that.
Okay.
Let's do. I don't know. Bill, why don't you pick? Grace Potter. Let's do a Grace Potter
Yeah, Grace
pair.
Potter. People should be aware of Grace Potter.
People should be aware of Grace Potter.
877-602-9696. Big Richard and a pair of Grace Potter tickets. And that's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we got to give people everything all the time.
Yeah. No.
Go buy some tickets.
Go buy some
Go to the
tickets.
stateroompresents.com and buy some tickets.
Thanks, Gina.
All right, thanks, Darren.
Thank
Darren
you, guys.
Piccoli, Stateroom. You can just go to the stateroompresents.com and find all the stuff you need.
Have a great week.
Thank you, sir. Unfrosted Pop-Tarts from the East Coast.
I don't know.
New Jersey.
All
It's
right.
kind of elitist, isn't it?
It is a little bit, isn't it? Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a break. We will be back to crawl towards the exits coming up after these. Oh, but we have to remind you, BigOTires.com.
Yeah, make sure and give your make sure you tell people about Big O Tires. It
Well,
is.
tell us, Bill, about Little
Well,
Bill was there recently, wasn't he?
He was putting off getting the tire fixed. He was pretty sure there was a nail in it or something. I said, just take it to Big O. Just go down there. They'll be. And he came back and said, I can't believe how nice they were. No questions. They just fixed it. There was in fact a screw in the tire. Fixed it. No questions because. Big O Tires, but they guarantee their tires for sure.
Yeah.
And they're having a sale right now on Michelin tires. Come in and save $160 in rebate savings on select sets of Michelin tires through February 19th. And, of course, Big O Tires, they have the lowest price on every tire every day.
Make your appointment there, bigotires.com. There's a ton of locations. There's going to be one near you. I go to the one on Highland Drive. Carrie goes to the one on
the Olympus Cove one.
The Bigfoot one.
One with the Bigfoot mural.
That's right. And I go to the one on 2nd East and South Temple, bigotires.com.
Imagine this. Tickets to see age.
And leave it to our chat room to find jewelry made of animal droppings.
It's a thing?
Moose poop.
Apparently it's a thing.
Why would
in
this be a
Alaska.
thing?
Because ha ha ha.
You can make.
Because look, it's poop. Ha 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 ha. That's why. That's it.
Well, I remember they used to make, they'd take horse droppings and they'd shellac them.
Yeah.
And then they'd stick googly
seen-
eyes and feathers on them, and they were turd birds.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And
And what do you do with that?
You sell them at the fair, and
but then what-
people buy them.
And where do they put them
And
at
they
their
put them on their
house?
TV, and they say,
Yeah.
"Look, there's my turd bird." I
And
never
had-
understood it.
I've told you before, I had a cane
Yeah.
made out of bull's pizzle.
Was it funny?
Ha ha! You know what this is?
I don't.
I don't
I don't
get it.
want things like that. Just
Well,
for
don't
that.
have them then. Don't have them. No, I was.
It's like taxidermy. I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't get that.
Here's where I appreciate taxidermy. When you go to there is an instance where I can appreciate it.
Okay.
When you go to the museum, Natural History Museum, and you see the old time, stuff
Yeah.
that they've done. They have some amazing things that I don't think they do much of it anymore.
Like-
Museums don't.
When we
don't
were in
have it.
Boston, we went to Harvard, and we went to the Natural History Museum there on campus. And the stuff there is old. And they have tons of taxidermy animals in there. And they're weird looking because they did it a long time ago, and the
wasn't-
techniques weren't that
Wasn't
great.
good. Wasn't good.
They've got up at the Natural History Museum here, up at Research, or what are they, up by Red Butte.
Yeah.
They don't put it out much anymore, but like every year they'll have a day where you can, if you're a museum member, they take you behind the scenes and you can go through all the old collections and stuff. And they've got a ton of taxidermy
Well,
stuff, but they don't put it out.
Yeah, museums is one thing. I'm talking about your dining room.
Yeah. Or a mounted,
Yeah, you're sitting there having supper, and there's a dead bird up on the wall.
There was some car dealer up in Ogden. I forget which one it was, but he was really into, he big game.
He's a
hunter.
hunter.
And in the dealership, he had mounted lion heads and zebra, and
Really?
all of this stuff that he'd killed. Yeah, proud of it.
I don't like dead things in my house.
Well, I won't say it.
No, I mean, I just no dead animals, no.
Well, children shouldn't play with dead things.
No.
That's something that I learned.
That's true.
Well, I tell you, I saw Pet Cemetery this weekend. I'd
did?
never seen the original.
Wait a minute,
you saw the original or the
original and the new one.
God, you're a glutton for punishment.
See, we decided to watch the new one because it was
It's
on.
the carrying on the character.
Yeah, it was the young Fred Gwynn
Yeah.
character.
And is it a movie or is it
It was a
series?
movie,
Okay.
and we watched it. David Duchovny's in it, and it was okay. It wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
But we watched it because it was free and it was on It was on one of the services that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sue said, "Okay, this makes no sense at all because if this is the case, if Judd knew what was horrible about the Pet Cemetery, why did in the original he so gleefully say to the couple, if your cat's dead, take it to this place?"
He knew
And
what was going to happen.
And I'm like, well, I didn't see it. And Sue's like, oh, well, you have to see it.
Well, I don't remember because Fred Gwynn, the old guy, said you don't want to take your kid there. You don't take your kid there when
Well, not your kid, but the cat.
Well, he just happily took the cat.
Yeah.
Why would he
said-
take the cat there?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Or maybe that was the first time. Was that the first
No,
time?
but, well, according to this prequel, which I don't understand, because if this prequel is canon,
he took a lot of stuff there.
There was a lot of terrible stuff that came out of the Pet Cemetery in this thing.
So
I mean, I hesitate because I don't want to spoil it for people.
That he knew about.
But he was there for it, and he was in the middle of it. And, why would he then, years later, when this couple moves in next door, say, oh, your cat's dead? Take it on up here.
Well, so
I'll even show you where it is.
No,
It's
so without that prequel,
Yeah.
we assume that he doesn't know.
That's the point.
It's just a pet cemetery.
That's the point.
And the old guy doesn't know.
Yeah, Fred Gwynn in the original Pet Cemetery from the 80s seems to know the bad things.
He does?
Yeah.
Isn't he the one that says
He's the
sometimes
one-
dead is better?
Yeah, he's the one who
Well, I
kept
think
telling
doesn't
him.
he know that because they
Yeah.
take the cat there?
Yeah.
And that's how he knows.
But again, if this prequel is
Well, that ruins it.
Anything, there was a dog, right? And the dog comes back evil, right?
Not in the original.
And attacks his girlfriend. This is the prequel.
Yeah.
So if Fred Gwynn knew about this, if Judd knew
That's
about
what I'm
this,
saying. The prequel ruins the
then
second
exactly.
one. Yeah.
Then why in the original Pet Cemetery would he say, "Oh, it's fine. Take your
I
take
think
your
we
cat
need to
up
get
there."
Stephen King on the phone and ask him how he feels about it, because I don't think he wrote
I'm
this.
sorry, I can't come to the phone. I'm counting my money.
He didn't write or direct. It was somebody from associated with Quentin Tarantino did it. She wrote the thing.
He had to have approval, or
something. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
But
I'll bet his name is in the credits as executive producer or something.
I didn't notice.
Somebody said they went to see the new Exorcist movie this weekend and they were asleep for the first 30 minutes. Yeah, I heard that wasn't that great.
We talked about it on Friday, and it was the New York Times review said double the demons and less fun or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Katie in the next room. It says it was because it was the daughter's cat, and it would make her sad if the cat was dead. Well, then she needs to learn.
Things die.
Things die. It just made no sense to me. I was thinking maybe this prequel has nothing to do with this original story. Maybe it's a prequel to the remake of Pet Sematary, which I also did not see.
Did they remake?
They did, a few years ago.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't like Pet Sematary much at all because I thought it was just too awful. It was too awful.
Well, first of all, your lead guy,
who was it? I don't
stiff
remember.
Stiff as a board. Just no range at all. He was surrounded by good actors. Fred Gwynn is amazing.
Yeah.
Really fast. In the original, Judd does make a reference to...
Who's Judd?
Judd is the old guy that tells him.
Fred Gwynn.
Yeah, he does make reference to why he knows about the Pet Cemetery and why he knows it's evil, because when he does tell a short, brief story about his dog, although it says he comes back and he kills his mom, I believe, not his girlfriend, because I haven't seen the prequel. But so he makes a short mention of it. Otherwise, that's all you really get. And then he still tells him, "Here, take your cat up here." Then he takes everybody else up there.
Leads him up there.
Yeah,
Here, bury your cat. Here's where we do it.
I think more of he was supposed to take him up to the Pet Cemetery that was right in front of the demon, or not the demon, but the ancient burial ground, and that was torn up. Anyways, and he's like, "Don't go past the wall," and he goes past the wall and takes him up there.
Is there ever an explanation of why this cemetery brings things back to life?
In the prequel that I watched.
There, in the original, there is a minor mention of it being a ancient burial ground that was
Native American spirits.
Yes.
That certainly explains it.
The land turned sour.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
turned
But
sour.
that's all you really get about it. So.
But yeah, I'd not seen the original Pet Cemetery, so.
Wow.
Well, I heard how terrible it was.
It is bad.
I'm very angry about the new one that they made because they changed a bunch of it, and it just drove me nuts about that.
Well, this prequel, I was just like, if this happened back in 1969, when the story took place, I'm like, why didn't we raise the ground? Why didn't we build giant walls around it?
You don't even go up there. No, you can't even go up there.
No, you just don't even.
You can't go up there because, dead is better.
I was just like, if this happened, then why are we even living here? Why, why doesn't the army come in? And
it's that bad.
It's that bad. I mean,
the army,
or at least the county assessor.
Somebody, I don't know.
It was a great movie when I was 10.
Yeah,
the original. With Fred Gwynn.
Sue made me watch the original and fell asleep halfway through.
Yeah,
She goes, "Did you finish it?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm perplexed."
This did not help it. You have more questions.
More questions. Nine Inch Nails.
I really appreciate the sentiment of that song.
Yes, all right, we have just enough time to do the promo and leave. So
guess I better find it. Huh?
Yes, let's do that.
That's not it. That's it. All right. For Tuesday's Radio from Hell show, we have options.
Well, we could hop back into the Radio from Hell time machine and
kill Hitler. Are we going to kill Hitler tomorrow?
Yes, we'll kill Hitler. Then we can play some classic Radio from Hell bits.
Killing Hitler and more on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show here on X96.
All right.
Kill Hitler.
Okay, I think we're good. Got all business taken care of? Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
I'm handsome Bill Allred Plus. Don't you know who I am?
Don't let the pigeons spy for China.
Artie Fufkin is